Better hurry, spark it up with no worries. Harmonious gang with the big bro Yuriy. Hyphy, get lit just like me. Big bossed up, chop it up with Riley. You better come with it to kick rocks, cause you now tuned in to 10 Talks. Now let's get lifted and take a shot. You are now tuned in to 10 Talks.
Yes. What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everyone? Shout out to everyone that has joined.
Welcome back to 10 Talks. We're finally back in America.
Oh, yes. Bruh, it's so... Okay, whatever. All right, yes. We're finally back. I wish we did this episode with Ali and Toke, because we did this whole... Well, not the whole trip, but we did a lot of the trip together, but... we were talking about doing this episode with Ali and Toke, but I feel like we just never planned it out. And then also I thought
they had I thought they were going away this weekend.
Oh shit, god damn it. I swear Toke said as soon as I'm coming back, I'm going straight to Texas. So that's why I was like thinking he's not even going to be around on Sunday, but then I realized he is going to be around on Sunday, but then we never even fucking hit them up or planned it or anything like that. But either way, guys, also, yeah, let's put the chat away. Here we are for episode 126 of 10 Talks. Sorry for the weird intro.
It wasn't weird. You're the one making it weird.
I'm the one who made it weird. Anyways, what were we going to say?
Of course we started like that. I said it feels crazy to be like back on. It feels like it's been a long ass time.
I know, because as I was making this thumbnail, as I was trying to schedule the stream yesterday. I didn't schedule it yesterday, but when I was making the thumbnail yesterday, I was like, what episode are we on again? And then I looked on this channel, it said 124, but then when I opened up my thumbnail Photoshop template, I had 125 written already. I was like, where the fuck is 125? And I forgot that we went back to the Harmonious Man channel to do 125, and then the whole fucking stream situation I did where someone got too drunk and all that stuff, and then channel basically got fucking kaputs that night, and the Harmonious Man got demonetized, and then we immediately started the dollar a minute. Then we went to London. I was gonna say Paris. Then we went to London. Then we went to Amsterdam, and then we came back, and then now we're going back to the new to the Yuriy channel. It's kind of
confusing.
It's a shit show right now with the whole podcast thing, and that is also I forgot to turn on the lights right here as well. It might be easier for you because you're on that side. Well, let me see if I could do it really quick. But actually, no, yeah, it might be easier for you on that side. But guys, I announced this the other day on stream, and I've obviously we've gone through it's not a lot of changes, but a lot of channels don't go through this many changes. I feel like we've really gone through like a bunch of shit where Harmonious Man to Yuriy, back to Harmonious Man, and then now both Harmonious Man and Yuriy are like basically demonetized. And I'm dealing with that shit on both channels. I'm still potentially going to be able to get both channels remonetized, but it just takes time, and in that time it really doesn't help a channel to be demonetized at all. You know what I mean? Like, but like in all types of ways with like recommendations, people not being recommended the streams, super chat not working, members not working, all types of shit. But either way, some people in the chat in the beginning were saying like, oh, Yuriy can't leave a correct link, because I was trying to leave a link to the new Harmonious Pods channel, but I just started this YouTube channel, and whenever it's not working, whenever you start a new YouTube channel, it always like acts kind of weird in the beginning until you post a couple YouTube videos or until it gets a good amount of views on the channel. We've seen this experience a couple of times, or I've seen this experience, this happen a couple different times with other people's channels where they start a new channel and they'll have thousands of people trying to flood there, and people will be like, bro, I can't find it. So it even happened for Biggs Bros as well. But the Harmonious Pods channel is created. It's just so new. It has no content on it. That's going to be very hard to find. Even the link is not working yet. But if you guys just go on YouTube, type in @ like the @ symbol @ Harmonious Pods, and just search that, you should be able to find it. It's a picture of me wearing a ski mask with a hat on. So that was like just the only way I could try to make it like distinguishable where someone could recognize what it is. But I'm gonna update the fucking photo. It's not gonna be me in the ski mask forever. And then I'm gonna like obviously like update the channel, put a background art on it and all that stuff. It might not even be searchable yet until I like customize the channel a little bit. I'm not sure, or at least until I upload a video or two. But either way,
whoa,
oh shit, That's from this. You guys can't hear that, but God damn, we're having the biggest bros issue. Jeez,
I know.
That's what it sounds. You can't never hear it, but that's basically what it sounds like. Either way, guys, the reason why we're creating this new channel is the one thing that keeps fucking us over is the smoking and the drinking. Is every time I get demonetized, the YouTube basically tells me it's because you smoke tobacco or other products, and then also you drink like excessively or some shit like that. So those are the two things that keep messing with this channel, and that really doesn't come from the podcast. That doesn't come from Harmonious Hour or 10 Talks. That comes literally from my IRL streams and my desktop streams. So I've talked about making the separation a long time ago. I started the new channel Yuriy, and then I just made this exact same mistake all over again of putting everything on one channel, and then boom, we got hit with the exact same shit all over again. So this time I've really learned my lesson. We're going to start the Harmonious Pods channel, in which we're going to continue 10 Talks on there, and then also I talked about this the other day, we might end the name and honestly just end 10 Talks in total and start a whole new another podcast, because 10 Talks is like, the word 10 Talks just doesn't fit Riley and I
just don't think it is good branding.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that as well. And then also 10 Talks is going to continue there as like either maybe just as 10 Talks for now, and then like I said, we're going to continue the podcast under a new name, and then also Harmonious Hour is going to continue as well. I already have 2 guests lined up, potentially 3 already. I'm going to have to see this week to see if like this person's down or not, but I'm trying to line up as many guests as possible, a bunch of people I haven't connected with yet, and just be able to get to talk to them, because honestly, like, I really do like talking to people. I do like trying to interview people and like get to know them a little bit better and like understand their perspective on things, the way their shit's going and all that stuff. So I feel like I don't know, like, I actually like doing that shit, and people really enjoyed watching it too. So I'm down to I'm excited to continue doing that, and it's all going to be under one roof. All the podcast clips, and I was thinking about throwing my stream clips under it as well, but I feel like we're going to run into that same issue like, I'm just going to keep Harmonious Pods, the podcast, and the podcast clips, and that's all just going to go under Harmonious Pods channel, and every time we do 10 Talks or Harmonious Hour, it's going to be on that channel. So I feel like that would be a good way to differentiate that form of content. And then also the other link I left in the chat right now, it's like pinned, actually the only link, I deleted the YouTube link because it wasn't working, but it's my Kick link. I haven't even streamed on Kick yet, but I think we're like at 130 followers. Shout out to everyone that has dropped a follow on Kick. Guys, I know that a lot of people in here probably have never used Kick before, might not even know what it is, but it's basically a new streaming platform. It's kind of like Twitch, but it works very similar to Twitch. But I've gone on to, what is it? I've gone on to Caffeine. I've gone on to Kick. I've gone on to like a couple other streaming platforms. All of them always like get a little, it takes a little bit of getting used to. But with Kick, I have to say I'm not even, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but it was very smooth and chill and easy. It's like I literally one day, I think it was on stream, people were telling me something about Aiden Ross, and I literally just went on Kick, didn't even create an account. I just went on Kick, typed in, searched Aiden Ross, his stream popped up, I opened it up, and then boom, I could see the chat, I could see the stream immediately in like 2 seconds. It was like super easy and fluid to use. So I don't think it's a complicated platform to learn how to use if you guys do want to continue watching the streams. But the benefit of us going to Kick for sure is just not worrying about YouTube shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that like, like I was talking about, like in Amsterdam when we were going up to certain windows, and I would see the prosthetic pussies or something like that, and I'd be like, oh fuck, I can't show that because it's YouTube or whatever it is. But if I'm on Kick, like, it'll be way more free. Like, I could just do whatever the hell I want, not worry about, I guess, the smoking or the drinking and all that stuff, and worry about demonetization and all that stuff. And then Kick has its own like donation, just how YouTube has like super chat, Kick has its own like way of donating members, and then also there's the Streamlabs link as well, like always. So either way, I'm super excited to move to Kick, and then also work with other people who are also streaming on Kick right now. So I'm really excited for that. That was a long ass ramble. Sorry.
New channels coming.
New pet.
I was gonna say new pages, but new channels coming, new content.
It's not working.
Damn.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You have
so
to like really
I
angle
know.
it perfectly.
You have to get into that corner. Where's my... Wait, did I put my rock star away? Oh, yes. Okay, there we go. All right. Well, guys, sorry for that huge long ramble right there. We do have a lot of shit to talk about here because we just came back from a long Europe trip. London, Amsterdam, and then back to London, and then back home. First thing I have to say off rip, which is, you know, something Riley and I were talking about off stream, which is when we went to Greece, we stopped by London for a day, met up with Trapler Ross, and we were like, oh my god, it's so cool out here. We would love to spend at least a week out here. And we talked about it. We talked about it on stream. And we for sure like had in our minds that it would be a cool thing to do in the future. And by the future, we were probably thinking years in the future, like at least a year in the future, something like that, because we had just got back from Greece and did all that shit. But we literally within the same year, within like 6 months apart, 5-6 months apart, we went back to London and spent a whole week out there by ourselves.
Less than, yeah.
That is pretty fucking insane. And like always, I have to give a huge shout out to the Harmonious gang, bro. None of this would be
For
possible
real.
without you guys. And we really had like a once in a lifetime experience out there. And obviously I've already seen the comments on Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff. People are gonna be like, how can you talk about the positives of this trip? All we saw was arguing, blah 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 blah. Obviously some people are gonna over exaggerate, you know what I mean, like the negatives, because they, I don't know, like for whatever reasons they want to over exaggerate the negatives. But all in all, yes, bad shit, you know, and like negative stuffs did happen, like, and arguments did happen. But at the end of the day, like, you know, we said when we were back in London, all in all, it still was, you know, a cool trip. It doesn't like make the trip like not cool anymore, or it's like make the whole thing just like whack or shitty.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely like the best, like one of the best experiences, like especially doing with like Ali and Toke too. It was cool that we all got to like bond and travel together, because like, I mean, we started in the RV in Vegas, and then now we went to the UK and Amsterdam. Like, that's crazy.
I know, that actually is funny. We did I forgot about that.
Poor Ali and Toke. I'm so sorry.
I know,
You guys are the strongest people.
That's one thing, like, you know, just on the argument topic or whatever it is, that's like one thing where I feel so bad, but then also so appreciative, because they've been around for some tough moments for sure, and then they never like are like even show any negative aspect to it. They're never like, man, like fucking Yuriy and Riley ruining our London trip, like assholes or some shit like that. They're always super positive and nothing but nice and just supportive, so I appreciate them so much.
But it doesn't make it okay that shit happens.
I know, obviously.
So
I'm not. You think I'm justifying it?
No. I'm just saying that to the people that it's not. We understand that it's not fun to watch.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Also, is when I do streams, or the point of streams is to have a good time, is to have a fun time, and obviously there's a certain group of people out there who just want to see the negative sides, and they just want to, they're just there for the like fucking the crash outs or whatever it is, and like there's gonna be a whole community for that type of shit. But all in all, I do want people to be coming to the streams to have a good time, and I feel nothing but bad for Toke and Alley for bringing the negativity to them, but then also the chat's trying to tune in, see a fun London trip, and I'm like bitching and complaining about photos, you know what I mean, or stupid shit like that. So I'm sorry, guys, and this is like my third or fourth time apologizing at this point, but
about me.
I really fucked up. Really? Have I not apologized to you?
You could on air.
Oh my god, dude. Why do you have to say it like that? And then you make it sound like I don't want to apologize to you. And I literally have said this already on my first stream back, which is I owe a huge apology to Riley as well. Well, I'm sorry to you as well, babe, because also with you, other than Toke and Alley, I've acted very childish and very immature and done a bunch of, weird shit. And you have never, like, did anything weird back and fucking, I don't know, like, it's like me crashing out. It's not like you crashing out ever. It's like every time it's like me acting weird and then you just dealing with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for ruining your London trip. Your London / Amsterdam.
My special trip.
Your special trip. Your special week.
My special
Or a week
2
and a half.
weeks.
I keep saying week and a half
It
for
was
2 weeks.
like it was almost 2 weeks. Damn near 2 weeks.
We left the 2nd and we came back the 14th.
12 days.
Yeah, basically like 2 days away from 2
2
weeks. Yeah, basically, I don't know.
A week and a half.
We can round it up.
You can just call it a week and a half.
Either way. But like I said, we have a lot of shit to talk about here. So we got to hunker down and chill out because I don't want to skip over anything and be like, "Oh man, we should have talked about this." But there's like a lot of stuff that happened in this 2 weeks we were out there. Let's start off with the first thing, which is we really wanted to talk about this, but because during the whole trip, but because we had a flight there and a return flight back on the same airline, I don't want to do no doxing shit for our flight information or anything like that. I want to be very careful with that, so we didn't even mention any flight names or airlines or whatever it is, but now we could talk about it. Can you explain how you got these tickets?
Norse Airlines. You fucking suck. No. Basically, I just looked at flights to London or whatever, and obviously I was gonna pick the most affordable ones because it was so last minute, so everything was already super expensive. And at first we were gonna go like JetBlue, but
I don't think we've ever taken JetBlue.
Yeah, we haven't.
Okay.
But we would have left on Saturday, so technically we would have gone there on Sunday. And Yuri's like, no, I have to do 1 week in London.
It wasn't the 1 week thing. It was okay. So Riley, I was on
because I saw this Norse and I was like, I have never heard of this airline. I'm scared.
Yeah. No, but I was gonna say is I was already I was in the middle of the dollar a minute stream here in LA while Riley was getting the tickets for London, and I told the chat, I was like, all right, guys, I got to be back in a second. Got to go talk to Riley. And I went to the other room, and Riley's like, I got tickets. They're, pretty affordable. We can get these. And it goes to London, but we're going to get there the 3rd. And I was like, dude, I already have all this promo assets on Instagram, on YouTube. I posted everywhere saying that I'm starting the 2nd. So I told Riley, I'm like, even if I'm starting at 10 p.m. on the 2nd or even 11 p.m., like, I have to be able to start on the 2nd. So it was even more expensive to get tickets to come there on the 2nd. So and also
and we had to fly Norse.
Yes, we had to, and people are gonna be like, "What's Norse?" It's Norse.
I wish I could tell you.
It's almost like some like a foreigner trying to say North, like Norse.
Yeah, North.
Yeah, or someone with a lisp or something like that. They're like Norse, but. Yeah, we flew with Norse, and
apparently it's like a brand new airline. I think they just opened this year.
That scared
and it's
me, dude.
It's like affordable trips to Europe, like affordable.
Oh, that's
flights
what
to
that's
Europe.
their ad campaign. That scared me. So when we got there, I was thinking this is me just being fucking not really tapped in enough. I have so much trust in Riley with. I'm like, hey, babe, we're going to do this for the stream. Can you get us there? And, she does all the research and buys the tickets and does all that stuff. And I'm just and then I complain about it for some reason.
Yes.
But when we got to the airport, I'm like, what are we taking here? British Airlines, some, I don't know, JetBlue or so, whatever it is. Something I've heard of before. She's like, we're taking Norse. I'm like, I never heard of that before. And she's like, yeah, it's a new airline. And I had just finished watching a Phil DeFranco. We just finished watching a Phil DeFranco video where Phil DeFranco's like, hey, guys, this is something that a lot of people don't really keep up with because it's a random thing to keep up with. But he's like, if you keep up with airplane crash and not crash, but almost crash analytics or statistics, he's like, they're going through the roof recently because there's more and more air travel, and also a lot of airports are
don't listen to this if you're taking a flight. Mute it.
A lot of airports are understaffed, and we noticed that. We'll talk about that as well. But a lot of airports are understaffed, so that a lot of mistakes are being made. A lot of people are pulling overtimes. A lot of people are pulling 6 or 7 day shifts and all this shit. And basically, people are overworked, and mistakes are starting to happen. And Phil DeFranco was showing these statistics of all these planes that almost crash in the air, almost crash on the landing, almost crash on the takeoff, and the amount of times this is happening it's happening more and more often throughout the years. And basically, we go on this airline. She's like, oh, it's a new airline. This Phil DeFranco video is going through my head, and then also I saw this documentary not too long ago, and the documentary is about what's it called, like fake like fugazi shit, what's it called, like
Fugazi.
what's something that's like fake, another word for fake.
Bless you.
Like if you're supposed to get like a important car part, right? Like a gear shift, a shaft or something like that, and you get a China made one. Like what would you call that one? Like just like a off brand, or a fake bootleg, I guess, or something like that. But either way, I saw this whole documentary about bootleg shit, and they were saying like, oh, people think that bootleg is just like fake Louis Vuitton at the Chinatown or whatever it is, right? Counterfeit. There you go, counterfeit shit. And they thought, and the documentary is about how a lot of us think that counterfeit just goes with clothing and maybe watches or something like that, but it's hard to counterfeit an iPhone. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to counterfeit other shit. But what's being counterfeited is like the parts inside of it. And apparently, like one of the things they were talking about in this documentary was airplanes. They said that statistically, like at least 10% to 15% of the parts in every airplane are counterfeit parts, and they can be as important as like jet components and fucking like wheel parts and all that shit. And I was like, bro, you would think that when you hop on an airplane, everything's official, everything's like correctly done and everything. And they're like, nah, bro, even on airplanes, whenever they get investigated,
I don't like
every airplane always gets caught with like some sort of counterfeit part being used to save a couple bucks or some shit like that, or even they got tricked into buying a counterfeit part. I don't know, like, so all this shit was going through my head. I was legitimately a little bit worried for this shit, for this trip.
And I was honestly kind of positive about it.
You're always positive about it.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be nice, like it's brand new.
That is true,
yada
I guess.
yada yada. But when we arrive, first of all, we get dropped off at the wrong terminal.
No, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
No. It's said to get dropped off at that terminal.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We didn't get dropped off at the wrong terminal. We got dropped off at what we perceived to be the right terminal.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
You know what I meant. Exactly. So when we got to the terminal, we went to because we couldn't find the airline. We went to the information booth, and he was like, your flight's about to leave. You better go. Hurry. Like,
I know.
I was like, the fuck? I was like, no, our flight doesn't leave till like, I think like 4 or something.
And I was like, dude, we're here early.
Yeah, I was like, it's like 1:30, and I was like, no, bro. I was like, no. He's like, that lady's on the same flight. I was like, no, you're tripping. You're wrong. But okay, thanks for letting me know it's on the other side. So Yuri had his 50-pound backpack. We had 3 luggages.
I found out it's actually like 33 or 35 pounds.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't seem that heavy, but
it is heavy.
But after a while of that shit like being on your back, that shit crunches your fucking spine, dude. But like, yeah, we were like at Terminal 5, and then and it literally says on our tickets online, it says go to Terminal 5, and apparently because it's a new airline, they got like low priority or something like that. You go to Terminal 5, and then they tell you, oh, thanks for coming here to Terminal 5. You got to go to Terminal 1 now, and then. In LAX, it's a giant one-way. So the only way to get back to Terminal 1 is to walk your ass there with all your shit, which takes forever, or, I don't know.
Drive again, like, throughout all that fucking traffic.
Exactly.
Where it's like, you're going to get there in the same amount of time, probably.
It's going to take you, like, 30 minutes
longer.
To get around that whole fucking thing, bro. It's ridiculous.
It's probably faster if we just go right now. So we just went.
We literally went early, too, because I have all these computer, parts and my streaming equipment. This is my first time taking my streaming box with me. You know, we've always joked about the idea of like, oh, what happens when I take my streaming box on airplane with me?
Well, now we know it's easy.
I had to do it, right? Like, I had to take my streaming box with me. So, we really planned to go there early so I could deal with all the people, questioning, like, what is this all, equipment, all that stuff. We get there early, guys, for the check-in, and we've done enough flights at this point where the check-in, at least with Southwest, you go to a
kiosk, get your boarding pass. You don't even have to talk to the people. You could print it yourself.
It takes 2 seconds, bro. Every time. It's so fast.
So easy.
And then we go to this, and like even the ones that don't have a kiosk, it's like you gotta wait in like maybe 10 minutes of a line, 15 minutes of a line.
Yeah, barely anything.
Bro, we get to this line for this Norse airline, and
when we get there, it's already like a packed ass line, and there's like 2 girls in the front checking people in.
Oh yes.
And I was just like, oh hell no, like what the fuck. And I went to go like find a drink, because like I don't know what did you have like alcohol or something? I don't know why we needed a drink.
We didn't get a drink.
Oh, you had your your syrup, your THC syrup.
Oh yeah, don't say no. You didn't get an alcoholic drink. You went to go grab a soda.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like I went to go get a soda, but I was like, did we need a chaser for something? But no, you had the syrup.
Yeah, I had THC syrup.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go look to see if there's soda because that line was long as hell, and I like went for like a minute, like maybe like 5 minutes, and I came back and Yuriy barely even like moved an inch.
And I remember when Riley came back with the soda, I
didn't even have a soda. I couldn't
oh wait, no,
find anything.
okay, so you didn't get it, but I remember you were like, oh, you barely moved a little bit, and I was like, yeah. I was like, it's over with. I was like, it's gonna take forever, and you're like, no, don't say that, don't jinx it. But I could just tell already by how slow that shit was moving, how long it was gonna take. And guys, basically, long story short, we stood there. I counted it. I looked at the clock when like Riley first got back, or no, you called someone or texted someone, or like Allie or something like that, and we could figure out like exactly what time we got in line. Or it was like my mom. We figured out exactly what time we got in line compared to what time we left, and it took like an hour 45 minutes standing in that line to check in our bags. And the whole time we're standing in that line because we have an hour 45. We got 2 hours there. We got to fucking remember the faces of the people working the kiosks. It was like 2 girls, like it was like 3 girls and a dude, but only 2 kiosks were open, and we got to remember their faces, right? And also, since Riley and I, like I said, we got there a little bit early. The check-in said, I forgot exactly what time it was, guys, but basically, for example, it said that by 2 p.m. you got to be getting on the flight, right? We were reaching like 1:30, and we were already like halfway in line, realizing like, bro, we're cutting it right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it.
And we were looking, and we thought we might not make it, but we thought if we might, and we're like cutting it. We look back at the line. The line is stretching so far back that we were realizing like, bro, all those people are fucked. Like they're not gonna make this flight. We luckily, make it in time to get our thing before 2 p.m. And then we go to the fucking to the flight, and then we realize, or like the boarding area, and then we realize like, oh shit, there's no one here. We had to sit there and wait. We waited like probably like another hour or some shit like that. Finally, we see the people who the workers who are supposed to get you on the plane. They're walking over. It's the same people who were fucking doing the kiosk thing. And then we realized like, there's no way you could be late to this flight. Yeah. Because they can't board people until the people doing the tickets.
They need the staff to board people.
I never seen that before in my life, going on an airplane. That the same people who work in the kiosks all the way in the front taking your tickets are the same people boarding you on the airplane.
It was crazy because at one point it was like one girl checking in, like the general people, like the basic whatever. And then there was a priority line that had like a couple people in it. They had 2 girls checking in priority, 1 girl checking in the huge ass general line. And then at one point, the girl who was checking in the general people was checking in priority too. She would do every other. And so it was like 3 people doing the small ass, short ass line. And then we were all just like suffering, like not even getting help at all.
I don't know how much it costs to become priority, but
people were
we noticed that people in line behind us were like, just hopping out of line and going to the kiosk and going like, hey, I'm paying the extra $500 to become like priority or whatever it is. Like they just did not want to deal with that line. But bro, that was literally the craziest, most intense check-in process and getting on a plane. And also, I swear that the people were the fucking flight attendants too. Were they not?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
I thought they were going to be.
But I was just like, bro, this doesn't make sense. Like,
but they were the people who like had to scan our boarding passes and stuff.
I realized like we left the house so early. We were in such a rush leaving our house to get to the airplane because we wanted to get there early. And I realized at that point, once we got on the airplane, I was like, we could have been an hour late and we would have been fine. Or if our flight was at 2 p.m., we could have got here at 3 and we would have still been butter.
They could have just been like, they could have just announced throughout the line like, yo, everybody chill. Everybody's going to get on the flight. Like, let's just relax because everybody's stressed. Like, we're not gonna make it. But all they had to do was that, because I was getting pissed at these people.
Yeah.
But if they were like, everybody's gonna get on the flight. Sorry, we're understaffed. Mm-hmm. Fine, I understand.
One thing, like I said, guys, I was like worried about dealing with was having all my streaming equipment because airlines apparently have a rule for battery packs where you can only carry battery packs up to a certain ampage or some shit like that, and you have to look at your battery pack and see if it fits these requirements, and if it doesn't, you're not allowed to take it with you. And the one battery pack that I use for my backpack is huge, guys. It extremely exceeds the limits of what battery pack you're allowed to use. I took that shit to Hawaii twice. I took it to Greece, and then I took 2 of them to London, to Amsterdam, back to London, and then back to LA. I didn't have a single issue with it, not one time. The only thing I realized was the easiest way to get across the check-in, guys, is literally just take everything out of your bag. Make it so easy. Like it sounds like a bitch, and it's kind of like a little bit of a hassle because it takes an extra 5 minutes to put all back inside. But every time I go to the check-in, I just take especially everything that's electronic. I just take everything out and put into like, I will use up like 3 bins, and I'll put all my items just side by side and do that shit. And on one of the airlines, I was like doing it, and one of the dudes was like, he's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you don't got to do all that. And I'm like, bro, I've flown enough to know that I get stopped every single time I fly with my streaming equipment, that I was like, I got to do this. He's like, no. He's like, trust me, leave it in your bag. You'll be fine. I left all my shit in my bag, like battery packs, live view, other smaller battery packs, all this phones, all this shit. And I didn't even get stopped. It just like went right through. I was like, bro, it's like, I don't know. It's so random. I feel like, I don't know. Like, it feels like every time
because people, they're like scared that people are hiding shit probably, and like whenever they see something weird, like a weird thing in your bag, that's when they stop you. So like how you're saying, if you lay everything out, then you have nothing to hide.
Exactly.
And that's so much smarter. Like, take the 5 extra minutes instead of like having to wait till
getting stopped takes so much longer.
And then some, like at London, that line for like waiting for your bag to be on the side was forever. Like, they were checking everybody's bag, so it took hella long for my bag to get checked. Yeah. So it's like, it was probably worth it just to.
And I saw some people, because we were like, we were smoking some ciggies out there in London. People were saying like, oh, did you guys bring weed with you guys? Blah blah. No, we did not do that. We don't bring weed with us on airlines. But I have to say, I've conducted this test here, right? Where I use rolling tobacco. I use this shit right here. It's like a pouch. It's just a closed pouch full of rolling tobacco, right? If you were to x-ray this would look exactly like weed. It's like a plant material. It's all grinded up. If I had a bunch of grinded up weed, it would probably look exactly the same way, right? So I conducted this test when we went to Greece. And then also in London when I brought like some cigarettes with me and shit, right? I always think like, am I going to get stopped for this? Are they going to open it up and be like, what's in that package or whatever it is? Guys, I've never been stopped for this tobacco, bro. I've put it in my backpack, put it in my check-in, put it in my carry-on, put it in every single place you can imagine. Never been stopped for it. When we were did this London trip, I bought a pack of cigarettes with me. Same thing. I had the cigarettes everywhere, through the x-ray, through everything on the airplane. Not once has someone like stopped me for my cigarettes. And at one point I even had like I was using the cigarette package to carry half smoking ciggies. So this cigarette box that I still have right here on the table, it stinks like weed, dude. It like has it stinks like resin and shit. Never been stopped once for it. And I'm not saying people should carry weed with them or whatever it is, but like I really wonder, how do they find that shit? Do they just have weed testing dogs or whatever it is? But like, I've never been questioned for the tobacco, for the cigarettes, for anything. Even we stink like weed every time we fly out of LA because we smoke a spliff like right before.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes they have those. Remember when she like wiped my? That's for like cocaine and shit.
I think it's for explosives.
No, she said it was for drugs.
Oh really?
Yeah. Or I thought it was for drugs.
I don't know. I think it's for explosives that they're searching when they like, because they did take Riley's shit and they wipe it on a machine and they test it. But also, they didn't do it to you this time. But when Riley and I were like checking at one of the airports, I was like standing there, looking at the lady. There was like a specific lady she would be handed things, and then she would like throw it through the tester and she would scan it. And I was standing there probably for like 5 minutes watching her, and I saw her scan probably like 10, 15 people's items. And dude, she would just do this thing where she would take something like lighter, go like this, and then take another item. And dude, she like, it was the most bare, like she was already used to getting the green light on every item that it doesn't look like she's ever even specifically going like, let me make sure this is safe. Like she's doing it so nonchalant and like just to get her job done. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, it's so interesting how airports work sometimes.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how everyone's so different too.
Sometimes they're so strict and then sometimes they're not. I feel like the Greek airport, they were like, Were they strict?
I think they were.
Which one was it?
London.
But was it the same London one? No, this time we went to Gatwick. Was it Heathrow that was like hella strict?
They're all like that. They're both like that.
But this time, the London one is the one where the dude was like, "Leave it all in your bag, you're fine," and I couldn't believe it.
No, she stopped me and she's like, "You have to put all your liquids in this one bag," and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah, that was
God.
annoying.
And now I'm gonna take it on the plane.
I had people asking me as well, why didn't you take your board with you and stuff like that? My board does not fit in my check-in or my carry-on, and then also because of the size of the board, guys, they can pull this move on you, or they can.
And they will.
They potentially, you never know. It's like I think it's like a 20-30% chance, but they can just pull the move where they're like, "Can it fit inside this bin?"
They made her Allie and her Toke throw away Horizon's stroller.
Yeah, they made Allie and Toke throw away a Horizon stroller because it didn't fit inside the bin. And like I got away with my backpack the whole trip, and then on the last leg of the trip, the lady was like, "Your backpack's too heavy. You got to get rid of some items." And I was really worried. I was like, "Bro, the only items that I need to get rid of are my battery packs. That's the heaviest shits." And I'm like, if I put them in my check-in, I'm scared they're gonna get taken away. I put my battery packs in the check-in. Also, nothing happened. I feel like they just don't care about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a mundane little rule where they don't want like specific like really 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 big shit. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, like a generator or some shit. You probably won't be able to get away with.
No, I don't think so.
But
Yeah, okay. So then that whole experience was just annoying and whatever. But once we got into the plane was nice and very comfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say out of I don't know specifically what airline it was, but we have taken a couple airlines where the seats are just, especially for 11-hour flight, you're like, bro, there's no way I could sit like a robot for 11 hours. But these seats were a bit more comfy. Also, guys, chat, let me know in the comment section afterwards. But like, are you guys the types of people to sit in an airplane seat and recline it? Because I'm, bro, over and over and over again, I keep getting, I literally, every time it happens to me, the person in front of me reclines. I'm like, bruh. And then I look around. The person in front of Riley doesn't recline. Look around like, oh, he's not. Damn near no one's reclined. I see a couple people recline, and I get the one person who always reclines their seat back on me. And I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, they reclined on me, so I'm finna recline my seat back. I have sympathy for the person in back of me, where I'm like, I'm just gonna deal with this shit and fucking have minimal space here.
Oh, you're petty.
That's not being. I feel bad for the person in back of me. I'm not like, oh, because I'm suffering, they gotta suffer too. Because then what? 10 people are gonna suffer now. I'm just gonna let the buck end here and be like, all right, I'm gonna deal with this shit. And then
You're
like,
a saint.
but bro, it's like, even on an 11-hour flight, I don't
like that. I'm reclining.
Even on an 11-hour flight, I refuse to recline because I know how little space there is, how uncomfortable it is.
I know, it is annoying.
What I really fuck with is one time, it wasn't on this flight, but like the last time I think when we went to London, the dude in front of me was like this old man who's, I talked about this story where he like reclined, and then I was like so fed up with him like reclined all the way back that I kept fucking bumping his chair, and he turned around, he's like, you know, it's a touch screen. No, he said, you know, it's not a touch screen, because he was talking about the monitor in front of me, and I was like, you know, you're reclined all the way back. And then he just like ignored me or didn't hear me, just like continued doing whatever he was doing. And then like 5 minutes later, we got our food, and the dude who brought our food, he like went to the dude, he's like, hey, you have to recline the seat back up while people eat behind you. And I was like,
excuse me.
I was like, thank you, dude. I was like, thank God, bro. I was like, someone made this fool fucking move his seat back up forward.
That was the uncomfortable flight. That one was.
I think,
rough.
that was the uncomfortable seat flight where I was like, that's why I was like bumping his chair. I was like, bro, I have like 2 centimeters of space back here. In case of a fire, I can't even get out. I'm like stuck. It's like a fucking amusement park lock ride, you know, type shit. I don't know. But either way, bro, we haven't even gone to day 1 yet.
I know.
I have like,
Let's keep it rolling.
I know, I have so many notes listed here. It's 6:47. Number 1, before we even get into this, guys, we forgot to go to the PO box. We're gonna go for the next week's podcast. Shout out to anyone that has sent us anything. I appreciate you guys so much. People have been DMing me, asking me like, what's the PO box address? It's in my Instagram bio, and then it's also in all the 10 Talks, new 10 Talks episodes description. It's the Burbank one. Burbank PO box 11535 91510. Now I fucking remember. So there you go. There's the PO box address. If anyone wants to send us anything. But either way, day 1 in London, we literally spent like 3-4 days in London without Ali and Toke. Which was like interesting because the whole time we talked about the trip, I even tricked myself into thinking we're spending the whole time out there together. And then once we got out there, I really realized, I'm like,
I know.
actually, it hit me once we were on the bus going to the Airbnb. I was like, oh my God, we don't know anything, and we're figuring everything out right now by ourselves.
I was like, that was giving me anxiety too, because I was like, damn, Allie's like the one that knows
exactly
everything.
It was like later on, like once they met up with us, that like we were really relying a lot on Allie, just going like,
what are we gonna do?
I've taken this bus before. I've taken this metro. You got to go here. You got to go there. We were just like following her. But when we first got there, after we got off the, okay, so here's what happened. We got off the airplane, we landed, and then once you land, you got to find a train that goes to, well, we had to find a train that goes to, like Marylebone. Oh yeah, that's where we were staying, the area. We had to take a train to Marylebone and then take a bus to our Airbnb, right? So we took the train. It was kind of difficult and confusing. We figured it out. Literally, you feel like you're in Harry Potter because it's like platform 3, platform 4, or whatever it is.
I had to ask like this guy, and he like this little old man, and I was like, "How do you get to Marylebone?" And he laughed. He's like, "Are you from America?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's Marylebone."
Oh my God, he hit you with the what's it called? What's her name?
Hermione. Shit. He
It's
literally
Marylebone.
did Marylebone. I was like, okay. He's like, so what you're gonna do is go to platform 2.
So yeah, we took that train. That was cool, easy breezy, even though we had all our luggage on us. And then
that was easy, yeah.
And then we had to take the bus. And then one thing, it's like we both didn't even think about it. It's in LA too. In LA, there's a number 10 bus, right? But it's like, what side are you taking it on? Are you taking it this way, or are you taking it that way? And that's one thing we didn't think about, is we had to take the number 36 bus. We hop on it. And then luckily, there's so many tourists that like you can rely off other tourists, for information, and like, being like a little bit skeptical of like where you guys are. We're like on the bus, we go past a couple stops, and then this one dude's like, he's like, oh my God, like, are we going north? I think we're going south.
There's 3 of us.
Yeah, but
we don't know where we're going.
There's like 4. It was you and me, and then 2 other dudes, and we're all tourists. And he's like, one of the dudes is like, are we going north? I think we're going south. And I'm like, I don't know what direction we're going, dude. I was like, I don't even know where the fuck we are right now. And then luckily, shout out to this British lady. She's like there on her newspaper. She's like,
I know, it was like a movie.
For real. She's like, dude, the people in like London are like so theatrical. You know what I mean? Like the way they like talk and act. But she's like, where are you guys heading? Blah, blah. And then he was like heading in the same direction we were heading. And she's like, nope. She's like, you guys took the wrong bus. You got to get off this bus, go across the street, take the same number bus the other direction. Bro, I don't know what area we got off in. A lot of London like has graffiti and shit like that, but we got off in like some sketchy looking area.
It was not.
It seemed kind of sketchy to me, bro. I was like, dude,
You're
I was like, we're about to get shanked out here.
You think that's sketchy?
It seemed sketchy. We got dropped off in some sketchy looking area. And then we're like, Riley's like looking for the next bus, and I was like, cut it. I was like, I don't care how much is, and it was hot as fuck. That's the other thing. I was like, I had my backpack on us. We had 3 luggage suitcases. I was like, bro, I don't care how much it's gonna cost. We're Ubering from this point to where our Airbnb was, and we weren't too far. But also, it doesn't really matter where you are. It's kind of hard to get an Uber in London. I noticed they really rely on the taxis more. It's like literally probably 60-70% taxis and 30-40% Ubers.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Even though the Ubers are cheaper.
You always see them.
They're everywhere. They're way quicker. Especially when you need an Uber, you're kind of in a rush. You're kind of like, oh, I need to get there quick. And you're also like in the mindset of like, bro, even if it's going to be $20, I need to get there as soon as possible, or whatever it is. So like when you see a taxi right there, you're like, how much is it going to cost to, go to this direction? Yeah. But also the one thing I thought I noticed, and Allie kind of confirmed it as well, which is I wanted to perform this test where I put in the directions where we're heading and see what Apple Maps tells it, what, streets Apple Maps tells us to take, and what streets the actual taxi driver takes.
I did that a couple of times.
And they do some weird shit, right?
Most of them were like doing the correct path.
But some of them
I could tell were actually,
bro.
But those were like the ones where after I was like, I'm gonna see what they're doing,
dude. Some of the taxi drivers are specifically, they know that the us tourists, we don't know the roads at all, and they will just take the most zigzaggy streets to run up the meter, and then you owe them like $30 at the end of the day, instead of like what would have been a $12 trip. They're just trying to run that shit up. And I already kind of had that suspicion, and then later Allie said, like, she's like, oh, these taxi drivers be doing this shit where they just run up the meter. I'm like, bro, but how do you call them out on it either? We
I know.
we ran into a situation where Riley and I were in a taxi. My stream was effing, and I was trying to get out of the taxi, fix my stream, and it was hot, and the street we were on was like bumper to bumper traffic. We're moving like 3 inches every minute, and I was telling the taxi driver, I'm like, yo, we're just gonna hop out here and we'll get out and like we'll walk the rest. And he's like, no, you can't, blah blah. And he was just like finding every reason in the book why we can't get out. And in my head I was thinking like, I could just open the door and leave, but I have to pay for this ride. I can't not pay for this ride, but he's not letting us dip. I'm like, what do? You know what I mean? Like, and he literally made us finish the ride. He did not want us to leave in the halfway through it.
He's like, I'm gonna drop you off up here if you don't mind. I'm like, yeah, we just said we want to go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude, like, I'm not trying to pull that move of like, let me out right now, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, we both said like, oh, we'll hop out. It's okay. We'll walk. But yeah, anyways, we had that whole bus situation and we get to the Airbnb. And this is where one thing I really learned during this trip, which is like how to count the little mini blessings. You know what I mean? Like when we were heading from London to Amsterdam, and we'll talk about that later, where like a person got hit by a train and all this shit happened. We really for a second, at least I was like, it's over with.
Yeah.
The trip's done with. We got to find a new place in London. We lost the money on the Amsterdam, but like all this shit, I was like worried about all this stuff, but you know, we ended up figuring it out and ended up working out even better. And like, you know, Allie was like, oh, we just caught a W. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking like, this has been a giant L the whole time. And then I realized, I'm like, no, like actually, yeah, this is a W. And then it was like, you got to learn to like count those like little W's and realize them, you know, at those moments. But when we got to London, we caught probably the biggest W of the trip. For sure, instantly. Well, it was even before, right? I didn't even know we caught this W. You didn't even know we caught this W until
Me
we got
either.
there. Yeah,
no, I didn't realize the W.
Basically, what happened?
Well, I had booked like a 1-bedroom apartment type of thing where I was like, we were gonna stay in the same hotel that Ali and Toke were, but it was gonna be like a super small room. And I was just seeing the prices of Airbnb because I know that since we were gonna stay there longer, we're gonna want more space, especially for the stream and stuff. I was like, all right, we should look. The Airbnb was like around the same price, so I was like, we'll book that. So I booked it, and like the day, I think it was like the day we were leaving, she had messaged me and she was like, have to book you or have to like send.
By
you
she, you mean like the lady, the owner of the Airbnb?
Yes, Maria. Shout out Maria.
Shout out to Maria.
She was like, have to like put you here. It's in the same building. The water heater broke or whatever in the Airbnb. And I was like, are you sure? Like, we have to do this? And she was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah. So, and I saw it was like 2 bedrooms. I was like, oh, that could be good. So Yuriy could do like his own sleep streams and shit. I was like, whatever. We'll take it.
Like Riley said, we were supposed to get this one spot, and then the lady was like, no, like the water heater broke. You have to go to another spot. And Riley was like, at first you were like literally saying like, bro, no, we need that spot.
Yeah, I was like, I want to take it.
It's perfect. It looks nice. It looks like worth it. All that stuff. And like you didn't even know like the huge W we're gonna catch with this shit. But either way, yeah. So once we get there, we realize like, bro. I
was like, what? Well, first we got there and we got this giant skeleton key, and I was like, what the fuck?
I don't understand the skeleton key, dude. Because
I was like, there's no way they're still doing it like this out here.
It's so, and that was our main protection. The other key didn't work.
I know.
The other key, like the actual normal house key that we all are used to out here, it didn't lock the fucking door. It was so weird and like, you know, like finicky. You had to use the skeleton key is what we used to lock the door. And what I realized when we went to a bunch of different restaurants and also and pubs and shit is they all had the same skeleton key hole. And I realized I'm like, they all have skeleton keys that they use, but bro, the skeleton key, I showed it on stream. It was like a fork. It was like you could literally bend a fork in like an angle and like stick it in there. It's gonna work. It was this most simple shit, and I'm like, how do people just not have like, you know, break-in entry like robberies all the fucking time? It doesn't even make sense.
They also had those like locks from the inside as well though too.
Okay, you're right. A lot of the places did have like those little, you know, hand locks where you just, and we use that every time as well, but. Bro, I was like, but you can't use that when you leave. When you leave the apartment, you can't use that. You just use a skeleton key. Bro, I didn't understand that shit at all, but it was very popular out there.
And when I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
But that's one thing that Trapple Ross was like explaining to us, and other people who we got to, and I'll talk about them as well, that we got to link up with out there. They're telling us that London really tries to preserve the history, for better or for worse. You know what I mean? Like, if for us as tourists, we're like, ah, sick, what a cool experience. Like, everything looks different, everything looks older. But I bet you when you live there, you're like, bruh, like, update this shit, dude. I want a normal ass key, like, or, you know, whatever it is. But like, they really like to preserve the old stuff, and you notice it in all over the cities. And one example is the fucking keys, bruh. But either way,
I thought that was hilarious.
Guys, the place that we stayed in, I posted a whole walk. I wanted to post a whole walkthrough on Instagram because it's like one of the sickest spots we stayed at. Before even I talk about the inside, we get to the area, right? We stayed in like I guess like an Arabic area where it's like a lot of like a lot of Mediterranean food and like a lot of Arabic writing, and they didn't sell alcohol in a lot of the places. And a lot of people explained to us that the area we're staying in was like I don't know what you would explain it as, but like a little Russia, but like, you know, for like Arabic people or whatever, like, you know, Arabic people. But either way, we get there, already the whole street is like popping. There's all these stores, there's all these restaurants, all that stuff to do. We go down our small street. I forgot what it was called. Crawford. I was gonna say Crawley, but the street was called like Crawford. And then there's like a pub right there, and the pub is popping. It's
literally
like,
right next door.
Bro, it's on the corner, and then.
It was our Airbnb pub.
Exactly, like the pub is right there. There's all these benches and tables and shit around it. There's like all these people drinking, having a good time. The pub ends. There's a first door on the left of the pub is our door to the Airbnb. You open it up. There's like a sitting area to take off your shoes and shit. Then there's a living room. There's a sun room where it's like another room where you could chill in there, and it has like a clear roof, like of glass and shit. And then there's a outside patio area that we streamed a bunch outside at. You go downstairs, there's 2 bedrooms. Each bedroom has like a shower, one of them has a bath. Bro, it was really nice. It was so sick. The bottom bedroom window goes to the sun room area. It was like so fucking sick. I couldn't even believe it. And then Riley was like, bro, like, we just got so lucky with this spot, because also a lot of people you know, even like my mom, like anytime I tell her that we're getting an Airbnb, she'll be like, oh, it must be so expensive. And I always thought Airbnb has to be more expensive, but through, you know, traveling and needing to get spots to stay at, like, one thing I've noticed that Riley showed me is you look at the prices in total, you know what I mean? Like, in total of all the days added together, all the little charges on the side added together for a hotel stay, even in a cheap hotel compared to like a cheap Airbnb, like, all the time, almost every single time, the Airbnb is literally the same price as the hotel, but you get a washer dryer, a kitchen, you know what I mean? More space, a little homey type vibe, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like way more clutch. And I honestly, like, I've seen so much reports and information about how Airbnb is like really not good. It's not good for the people who live in that area, because now no one gets to live there. Some rich person just bought an apartment to Airbnb out, and no one actually gets to live there for a normal, you know, wage, you know, wage anymore, whatever it is. But for traveling, that shit is so clutch, dude.
It gives people an experience, like, to how it feels to live out there, though, too.
Exactly. When we stay in Hawaii, like on that random street in that Airbnb, it was like we became locals all of a sudden for a week. You know what I mean? Like in London, we became locals within a week as well.
Exactly. We just kept walking up and down the same street, going to the same stores.
But yeah, also, I've talked about this as well, where like the first day when we came in, guys, ask Riley, I never take naps. Even if I just finished a 24-hour stream and it's noon and I end the stream and I'm telling you guys like, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed. I will literally turn off the stream, go to bed, lay down, go on Instagram, wake up, and then just continue the day. I can't, once I'm up in the middle, I can't sleep in the middle of the day. You know, it's like really hard for me, especially just to be like, I'll take a 2-hour nap. Like, it's impossible. But that first day when we came, Trapple Ross was hitting me up saying like he wanted to link up, and a couple other people from London were hitting me up saying they want to link up, and we wanted to start the stream as soon as possible already. But we got to the Airbnb and literally just fucking went straight to sleep. Actually, I think we got food first, but then we just went straight.
No, we didn't even get food. We were so tired.
Bro, yeah.
Because it's like you don't sleep that good on the plane. And like once
really
you lay down on a bed, it feels so nice.
Honestly. And I don't know, guys, like, Riley reminds me of this all the time. Anytime I try to sit on her, she'll be like, your ass is so bony. I don't know if this is because I have a bony ass.
What the fuck?
Well, here, let me land. I don't know if this is because I have a bony ass, and let me know, babe, if you had this experience. But every time when we went to Hawaii, when we went to London anytime I'm on an airplane for like longer than 3 hours, or I'm sitting for longer than 3 hours, my like cheeks start falling asleep, and like the back of my thighs start falling asleep, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like there's no way to fix it. Like I literally need to stand up for like an hour in order to fix it. Like my ass starts falling asleep because I'm like sitting for so long, and that shit was happening on the flight. And like when we landed, like Riley was saying, it's like, bro, you just want to fucking lay down, dude. You don't even or just you just want to lay. That's the only thing that would just provide some comfort at that point. But your cheeks were not going to sleep?
No.
Let me know. Fucking anyone out there that has like super bony cheeks like I do, do your cheeks fall asleep on the fucking airplane? But yeah, we ended up just going straight to sleep. Unfortunately, did not get to link up with Trapler Ross the first day, but we ended up being able to link up with them on the last day, which is funny. It's like funny turn of events there. But didn't get to link up with them the first day. Started the stream probably like at 10 p.m 11 p.m London time.
Yeah, we went to go to like eat dinner at a little cafe, which was
our like go-to spot at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They quickly, I don't think, started like they got over the TTS pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, you said you went there in the morning, and it was probably different people.
Yeah, it was definitely different people.
And then we got Siggy's.
Oh yes. Then we got Siggy's,
which was an interesting experience.
Oh yes. Okay, guys. I use Telegram. And I always thought Telegram was a Cash App my whole life. And I was talking to this
my whole life.
my whole life since I was a kid. But I was talking to the Siggy dude, and he's like, you gotta download Telegram, blah 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 blah. And I was like, all right, like let me set up my bank account with the Telegram, and I'll get you taken care of. And he's like, LOL. Telegram's not a money sending app. And I was like, he literally was like laughing at it. I was like, bruh. I was like, every time I've heard of Telegram, I thought that was the whole purpose of it, was to send money. But no, it's like a messaging app. It's like a private messaging app, I guess. But we found this dude, interesting guy, who we bought some ciggies from, had like an hour-long conversation with him. And bro, he was funny because he doesn't know who I am at all. Doesn't know what No Jumper is at all. He just doesn't know anything about me. He's like some dude from London. And he was like, how'd you find my information? He was like asking us like questions. He's like, where are you guys from? Like, what's going on? Like, how'd you guys find my information? I was like, I just posted on Instagram, like, need some ciggies in London, like, who can tap me in? And someone sent me your info. And he's like, what? He was like, kind of like,
he was shook.
He was like shook, like nervous, scared. Like, he's like, what? Like, because I guess it's supposed to be like, if you know type thing. And he's like, bro, like I should not. He's like, people should not be finding my stuff off Instagram type thing. And he's like, what? Like he's like, well, who sent this to you? What's going on? And he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I was like, I'm a live streamer from Los Angeles. Some dude who watches my streams follows me on Instagram and linked me to you. And he's like, what the fuck? He was like tripping out on that whole like situation. But yeah, we got some ciggies from him, and then started the stream, had a good night. I forgot what we did. I think, did we get too lit that night, or was it the next day?
No, it was the next day.
It was the next day. Okay. But that basically concludes day one.
Well, you went like biking around, I think, but it was like not popping anymore. That's when we realized that everything closed early and there is no alcohol.
Oh, yes. Yeah, number one, guys, I'm so used to LA where things close at 2 a.m. There's a couple super secretive underground bars, in LA that will stay up, way later, and you could buy drinks way later. But like, I've gone to one spot like that, and the people that go there, those are the types of people you really don't want to associate with. It's
God.
It's the craziest people, bro. But like I talked about it. I'm not gonna say the name anymore, but that bar I told you that I knew about, that I've gone like a couple times. Once it's 2 a.m., people would go there, and you could buy everything there. Alcohol, fucking anything you want, basically over the counter at this place, and it was open till 5 a.m. I asked someone in the place. I was like, how do cops not raid this place? Like this, I was like, this doesn't even. It feels like I'm in a movie. This doesn't even make sense. And they're like, the dude was like, oh, the cops in this area are paid off. Like, they get profit from this place. That's why they don't worry about it. I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? It was, like, so trippy, but I don't even think that place is open anymore.
Jeez.
But everyone who went
They
to that
got
place, maybe, I don't know. They didn't pay off the cops enough. But I remember a lot of the people that I saw that at that place were, like, literally, like, homeless people I saw in LA on a daily basis. At a certain point, I was like, bro, I'm partying with the homeless dude. Like,
Oh,
I was like,
God.
why do I go here? But
Why do I go here?
oh shit! Oh god damn it! Hold on, what was I saying? Oh yeah, guys, basically I'm used to LA where things close at 2 a.m. By 2 a.m., liquor stores stop selling alcohol, bars close. Even on like Mondays, right?
Yeah.
Even like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday out here, things are open till 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Out there, Monday through Thursday, it's until 10:30 p.m. Friday to Sunday through Thursday, it's until 10:30 p.m. And then Friday and Saturday, 2 days, it's open
11.
till 11. And it's so trippy. They have a rule where you can't be too loud at night. So once it gets too late, like, they just expect you to go indoors or some shit like that. And you have to become like a member of some club to go some indoor thing or have your own fucking Airbnb or your own spot out there. I don't know, but like everything basically just shuts down at 11. And it's crazy because that we really noticed the difference because we had that pub right next to our Airbnb. You walk out at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. A million people like, haha, yo, drinking, having a good time. It hits 10:32. You open the door, it just crickets. Everyone's gone. You're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, the people are just so scared of getting in trouble out there. I don't know.
No, they just are strict.
Or
that pub is like, get out. Like, no, we're closed.
Yeah. Oh, the pub tells you like either you got to go or you got to come inside.
Yeah, but they even kick you out when you're inside after a minute.
Yeah.
Remember when we went that one night and they're like, just cleaning every table right next to you?
Yeah, they're basically like, you got to go already.
Yeah, like, come on.
So that was like a weird thing to get used to.
But it's cool for them because their work weeks aren't that crazy, probably, everybody.
That's the thing that for sure made sense where it's hard to like work until 2 a.m. and then you got to come in the next day. But then if your shift ends at 10:30 p.m., I don't know. I guess it makes a little bit more sense. It's so weird because like they're known, you know, even Trapple Ross was telling me that like London, like kind of, or Britons are known for their like drinking bar culture and all that stuff. You know, Ireland is right up the you know, like 8 hours up north. They're known for like heavily drinking and all that stuff. But I wonder if they have the 10:30 p.m. curfew as well. I think they probably have that curfew because people really take it too far out there.
They bring it back home. Remember
yeah, for
they
sure.
said?
Yeah. Oh,
I
actually,
forgot
yeah.
who it was.
Yeah, someone told us that they'd bring it back home. But either way, okay, let's finally. Oh, dude, we're really gonna have to skim over some shit because we
yeah, we're gonna have to.
We
go
talked about
fast.
so much shit now. But maybe we should take a midway shot as well. But
Don't announce it.
one thing. Oh yeah, sorry. One thing I for sure noticed, guys, is the time difference. So you know we've done the dollar minutes out here and like in you know other areas in this time zone, I guess. But doing the fucking dollar minute or just the 24-hour stream out there was something I already knew that this was gonna happen, but actually dealing with the whole situation as it was happening was a whole nother story where a lot of people were genuinely like upset, going like, yo, Yuriy, this is all a sleep stream. This is the London sleep stream. Every time I tune in, you're just sleeping. And one thing I said on stream, which is like Riley and I noticed as well when Ice was in India, and you know, Riley and I would just be chilling on the computer. I'd be like, oh, let's tap into Ice's stream, see what he's doing. Every time we tapped in, it'd be like pitch black and he'd be knocked. He doesn't even leave the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like pitch black with the chat on type shit, you know? But he'd be sleeping every time. And we realized like, oh shit, it's hard to watch his streams. Like we would have to be up at 3, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning to watch his streams because we're just like completely on different time zones. And that's one thing I was realizing, which is people are like, bruh, every time I tap in, it's already over with. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
by the time we're getting started, they're already like over it. You know what I mean? They're going to sleep. So that's one thing I have to realize when I do streams like that is, and also like I wanted to do more nighttime stuff, but everything closes at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah,
which it makes it
exactly.
it made it so difficult. I had to do daytime shit out there.
We wanted to stay out.
I know. I literally said, I was like, bro, like every time I was like and people would say, go to Soho, go to this place, we didn't go to Shoreditch, but
I know. Next time we definitely have to go.
yes, hopefully. But the time difference was a whole fucking thing. I All right, hold on. I'm like going through the topics to see what the hell. Okay, so day one, what do we do? I woke up, and then we immediately went to Soho and Chinatown. We went there a bunch. If anyone, a lot of people, it's actually really cool. Like, a lot of people have been hitting me up saying like, Yuri, I like these traveling streams because I want to travel there now too, and now I know what to do and what not to do and stuff like that. So like that's one thing that I appreciate from this content we've been doing is people are like inspired to travel now and to go to certain places.
Yeah, it gives them like exactly more ideas. Like that's what I love. Like that's why I love watching travel content or like the food vlogs and stuff. It's just like even like the places I never thought I would want to travel. Now it's like, oh, those look
like what, India?
Yeah, I would love. I've always wanted to go to India though.
Really?
Yeah, I told you my stepmom's sister-in-law is from India, and my stepmom has been, and she's like, it's really a cool place.
I know. I really want. It's huge too. It's like so many places to go. It's like when you say I want to go to India, it's like saying I want to go to Africa. It's like what part? You know what I mean?
I'm down to go anywhere.
But yeah, we spent a ton of time in Chinatown and Soho, and people were saying like, bruh, guys, stop going back there. But honestly, it's like there's so much to discover. It was
fun.
Exactly, it was super fun. There's so many stores to go to, and even people who are living in London say that like, bro, like you can live out here and still not do everything, so you could spend probably a week in Soho and still not experience everything, from the nighttime and all that other stuff and shit. But we spent a bunch of time there. What did we do the first day there? I think we just went to bars and got super drunk.
Yeah, we got too drunk. We got the bottle of Ciroc.
Oh, that was the first day we got the Ciroc bottle. So
that was
yes.
Stupid.
What, bro? This is the thing that's like hard to battle with when you're going on vacation or touristing, right? When you're a tourist, it immediately makes you feel like, day drinking, fuck it, or whatever it is. You just like get into this day drinking vibe when you're a tourist. And the first day we took it, should we turn the AC on? It feels like a little bit warm in here. No?
I feel fine.
Okay. But bro,
you
like
warm, though.
It's like I know my glasses are fogging up. But it turns into like a fucking like a day drinking vibe, and we kind of like we took it way too far the first day. I think it was like by 5 p.m. we went back to the Airbnb, and Riley always does this thing where she's like, I'm not sleepy, like I'm not going to bed, like I'm fine, I'm just resting my eyes. And she was doing that thing where she's like, I'm just resting my eyes, I'll be back in a second. I literally talked to her, went upstairs, talked to the chat, went back downstairs, and then Riley's like just fucking knocked out sleeping. I was like, bruh, Jesus Christ. I was like, I feel it though, because we're still tired and like dealing with the jet lag and shit. So that was the first day. I think I linked up with Bluetooth. Shout out to Bluetooth, one of the I actually linked up with a lot of people out in London, and shout out to every single person I linked up with. Bluetooth was like the first person I met. Huge shout out to him, bro. He was super cool, and every time this is something Bluetooth and I talked about on stream, and something I'm really, really appreciative of, like for the Harmonious gang and these streams in general, is when we went to Hawaii, when we I don't think we noticed that we got this experience in Greece, but when we went to Hawaii, and then when we went to London, it's like when you get to link up with a local who actually lives out there, and it's not like just I can do street interviews all day, right? But I'm not gonna get the same types of conversations that I'm gonna get from someone that I could like basically consider a friend, and then just like have a couple hours just to like chat with them. So that for sure, just being able to talk to people like Bluetooth, Evil, Genuine, Traplo Ross, there's probably like someone else that I'm not remembering right now off the top of my head, but every time it's like such a cool experience because I get to see their insight on them living in that area, and then like I get to talk about my experiences and like my perspectives. I didn't get to stream the conversation. I'm kind of skipping way forward, but on our last day, Evil and I, Riley and I and Evil, we literally sat down at a park. We're smoking a spliff for like an hour and a half, and we're just talking, about London and shit. And that conversation would have been super cool to have on stream. Like I really got to, learn a lot and know a lot about London. And then even Evil told me, he's like, bro, he's like, a lot of the stuff we were talking about, he's like, it's funny. He's like, you won't even notice these things when you live here. It's like you have this perspective because you're just a visitor, just like thinking about this shit and like talking about it. But like when you live in a place, it's so easy just to get into the groove of things and just forget about like the weird shit that goes on around you that's like not doesn't make sense, or it's not fair, or whatever it is.
Yeah, a lot of people are always like, what do you think about this shithole, or I hate it here
in London.
Yeah, or I mean, like everywhere we've been, I feel like.
I know, that's true.
Maybe not Amsterdam. Amsterdam was like everybody was
Juiced.
loving it
I
there.
know. They're like, I'm off Molly.
Yeah,
This is
he was
amazing.
having a great time.
But also, like, you know, I'm really skipping forward here, but like when I was talking to Evil, he really opened my eyes, and also Trapple Ross like kind of confirmed this with me, where I was like kind of, I guess, I don't know, like I didn't really expect it, but Evil was telling me, he's like, bro, he's like, there's tons of racism out here, because I was talking to him first about that conversation got brought up because I was like, have you ever gone to Ireland? And he's like, nah, not really, but he's like, he said he has like family up there, but you know, people, it takes like 6 or 7 hours to even travel up there, so some people will do it for a vacation or a little trip, but he was like, bro, the more you go up north, he's like, the more and more racist it gets. And I was like, damn, like, and he's like, once you get up to Ireland, he's like, it's all white people up there. So like when you go up there, any you're a different color or whatever it is, or a different ethnicity, they will treat you very differently and shit like that. And he's like, it happens all over London. He's like, the place you guys are staying in, Marylebone, he's like, it's very, you know, gentrified, or not even just gentrified, but it's like, what's it called? It's like they're very classist out there. You know what I mean? They like, if you're like a certain class, like it's very difficult to break out of that class out there, type shit, you know. And he was like just telling me about all that shit, and I brought up to Trapple Ross. So I was like, yo, this dude Evil was telling me like there's like, you know, like a lot of racist shit that happens more up north, but then also there's, you know, like that it's a thing to deal with in London. He's like, yeah, for sure. He's like, it's for sure a thing that happens out here. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Would have, not that I wouldn't expect it, but it's just like, I guess you don't hear about it as much from there, you know.
Well, he was saying not so much London, right? Like more just.
Well, he's saying
England
certain areas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Either way, that day I was gonna say I got to link up with Bluetooth, had a good conversation. I drank a Corona, out of respect, because number one, guys, I went to
shout out Bluetooth.
A shout out to Bluetooth, because I went to like 20 plus liquor stores looking for a Rockstar. Could not find any Rockstar. Every time Bluetooth came through, he brought me like 2 Rockstars.
I know.
And I'd be like, bro.
He brought bevs for everybody.
He brought bevs for everyone. And not only that,
Sorry for disrespecting the Corona.
but
I didn't think it was actually for me. I thought it was a joke.
Obviously, Pablo's gonna enjoy it a million times more than you would have enjoyed it. You would have been like barely drinking it. But bro, I for sure realized this as well once we got to London, and also traveling around London is like, when I got to London, I had probably like 10 people who DM me that I even get to link up with, who were like, yo, I'm from this area, let's link up. And I'd be like, okay, search up their area, an hour away, hour and a half away, 50 minutes away, blah, blah, blah. And like everyone just far as fuck. And it's like, it's difficult for me to be like, babe, we're gonna hop on a 50-minute train to go link up with this dude real quick. You know, it's just like, unless our paths collide, it's really hard just to be like, I'm just gonna make this fucking beeline, you know what I mean, like for this random area, just you know, do this link up. But like if we're both in the same area, perfect, like it makes sense, I'm down to link up. But just to go an hour and a half out the way somewhere, like it would just wouldn't make sense. It's like 3 hours there and back type shit. But either way, I really realized how expansive London is, and Bluetooth, I think he was catching like 40-minute trains to link up with us every time, with the Rockstar, with Coronas, Smirnoffs, with the good vibes, bro. Shout out to fucking Bluetooth. I really fucking appreciate him, man. He really came through every single time. And like I said, we had like a really good conversation that time. And I forgot what happened. Like I hung out with Bluetooth. I went back home. You woke up.
We were both drunk.
I know.
No, you knocked out too, and then I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I knocked out.
Yeah.
I went home and knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
And then I woke you up because it was like I woke up at like 9:30. I was like, "Oh shit, the restaurants are gonna close soon."
I don't remember this. What the fuck? And then you woke me up and we went into a restaurant.
Yeah, we went back to the cafe.
God damn it.
I was like, we gotta go get food.
This is what's funny about talking about, like, you know, this shit is like, I don't even remember everything that happened. But okay, so we could basically call it a day right there. That was like day 1. There's so much stuff that happened. It's all on stream. Day 2, we went back to Soho and Chinatown. And like I said, there's so much shit to discover there.
No, and then we went to Big Ben.
Oh, yes.
Big Ben Gate happened.
Yeah, we went to Big Ben Gate and also Big Eye. Ben Eye? No, with London Eye. The London Eye Gate as well happened. But people are going to be disappointed. I'm sorry. And I also had to tell Trapple Ross, I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, but out of all the meals we had in London, we both agree our favorite one was the Taiwanese fried chicken, popcorn chicken.
That shit was so good.
Dude, I swear to God, I feel like they have like some 99% MSG sauce that they just drench that shit in, because like I was on stream, we like ate a couple of pieces and like your eyes light up. You're like, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever eaten. And I literally like paused. I took my tongue and just like I like licked the crust on one of them, and I was like, bro, this crust, like it's like some like magical Dorito dust that you can like eat pounds of. It's
definitely
so
MSG.
Bro, it's so fucking good. It was ridiculous.
Shit was crack.
But they have strict rules around food out there. There's no way they can put like an illegal amount of MSG on it.
It's not illegal, but MSG is just like pop it.
We've tried MSG before. We've all tried MSG before, but that was just like it was. I'm sorry.
It was everything.
I know this ain't no. It's not no fucking black pudding or full English breakfast or what's it called?
Shout out to English breakfast.
What was
That
the
shit
other thing?
fire.
The glizzies and potatoes. What was it called?
Mushy peas.
Mushy peas is one thing. Bangers and potatoes. I know it's not any one of those.
Bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash. There you go. Bangers and mash. But bro, the Taiwanese fried chicken. We literally looked up the restaurant, or we saw on the thing to see if there's a spot in LA. There's not. I think there's a spot.
There's one in the US. I just don't know where.
I think it's in Vegas potentially. But bro, if you guys ever have a Taiwanese fried chicken spot, go to it and try the popcorn chicken. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same experience, but that shit was so bussin', bro. It was so good.
It was delish.
Also, I saw people in the chat, because we were taking a lot of double deckers in the trains right out there, and I saw people in the chat going like, lesser living, blah blah blah, y'all are taking the bus and shit out there, right? Guys, the bus and train culture in London is so different than the bus and train culture in LA. Bus and train culture in LA is like, you're gonna get stabbed or pissed on type shit, right? It's like weird. You never know what's gonna happen. Shout out to Scumbags. Scumbags literally has a story where he was on a bus minding his own business, and he said he felt like a nudge on his thigh, and he's like, oh, someone's probably asking me to move over. So he turns around and he sees that some homeless man has a knife in his thigh, and he's just like, oh, I've been stabbed now, great. So it's just like, you never know what the fuck is gonna happen out here. Out there, so clean, so safe. It doesn't smell like piss. The double-decker bus is like an experience. I bet you the people that live there are over it. They're like, the magic is gone. But every time we take the double-decker bus, it's like, it was cool. It was like, bro, we pay $1 for this. It's like really, it was like a cool experience. And also, it's quicker, bro. It honestly is faster. They're like, their metro and bus system is like, we drop the giant bag on a taxi every single time. But literally, the bus will probably take same amount of time, if not even quicker. But also,
the train's gonna get you there quicker for sure.
Yeah, the train for sure is gonna get you there quicker, or the same amount of time. A lot of the spots, like when we were in Crawley trying to go to central London, and I was looking up car versus train, it was like hour 30 versus hour 36. It was like damn near the same thing, So it's like,
where you're doing hella transfers.
Yeah, are you gonna spend $120 or $200 on an Uber for an hour and a half ride, or are you just gonna spend $10 on the train, and it's the same amount of time, But it was a cool experience. I like the double-decker bus. What did you think?
Yeah, I liked it too.
You know what I noticed? It
was just so hot.
Oh yes.
That was like the worst part.
But it's usually cold out there.
The only time that was like really, really bad is when we did the tube.
Oh well, yeah, we should talk.
That
about
was that. I literally had to like get my brain calm. Like that was scary for a second. I was like, if one more person steps in this thing, I'm going to freak.
Bro, we only had one of those. Where's your shot glass? But we only have. We don't have any chaser, but we only had one of those experiences. But yeah, we should just talk about it now, bro. Like people out there, they called the underground train. Oh, there we go. Can we share that? People there called the underground train the tube, right? The above ground trains are so nice, guys, bro. So like comfortable, so chill. There's so much space. You could do anything, right? Actually, could you pour them while I go on this rant?
Yeah.
The below ground trains are like, they're called the tubes, bro. They really are tubes. Like if you are 6 feet tall or above, you're gonna be standing like this probably, and you have to stand in the middle. If you're gonna stand like on the sides, you're probably gonna be standing like this. It's like so small and compact, right? Already
fast as fuck though.
Yeah, it is fast as fuck, but already it feels like a little compact in there, bro. The first day, or not the first day, but the first time we took it, it was so many people in the fucking tube. I'm not sure if Token Alley were with us at that point as well, but like
that's when we went.
We're all trying to like squish inside of it, and at a certain point, it looks full, and there's still more people squishing on top of us trying to squeeze in, and we're like,
it was bad.
If you, for sure you guys have seen those Japanese like train videos where like the police officers are going like pushing everyone in with like sticks trying to get the doors to close, and people are like squished like sardines, like don't even have space to breathe type shit. We were like Riley's saying, like 5 people away from that. It was so squished, and like
it was hot,
and more people are squishing in. I'm like, bro, there's no space.
Air.
I'm like, wait for the next train. Like, call it an L. At what point do you call it an L? Like, we're gonna die in here. Like, bro, like this is insane.
We're gonna die,
bro. It was so bad. I wish I like filmed that.
I was like, God forbid something happens right now and we have to wait in this train.
If someone throws up, they won't even have space to bend over to clean it. Like, you literally are like.
You're fucked.
You have just enough space to like bobble around, and that's about it. You know, you're like you won't have space to fucking wipe your nose. You like your hand won't even fucking do this. If whatever position you came in, you're stuck like that.
I literally just closed my eyes,
bro. And like I don't think I have claustrophobia. I have like a fear of being restricted in my motion, and like I was also having that thing in that train where I was like, if something happens where they're like, there's been an emergency, like this train's not moving for the next 30 minutes, I'll have a panic attack. I'm gonna dude, like I'm gonna have to like hold on to the bars on the ceiling like a fucking like a monkey or some shit, and like
crash out Yuriy.
Bro, I'm gonna crash out in a whole different way if that type of shit had happened. But cheers to getting through.
I
like
just imagine you dangling.
Bro, like I would literally fucking freak out. But okay, so on day 2, yes, we went to Big Ben, and also the
Picture
London
Gate.
Eye. Picture Gate. That was day 1. So my little explanation for my little crash out there is it's like, guys, I realize
we don't even have to explain it.
Well, I can give a little quick summary, but it's about myself where. You know, I do talk with such confidence sometimes about certain topics or about certain life advice or whatever it is, and like I do acknowledge I'm not the smartest person on earth. I'm probably not even close to being smart, but like you know, sometimes I do talk with confidence and all that stuff, and it may seem like, oh, sometimes there might not be anything wrong with this person, or like, you know, he has his things together or whatever it is, but like stuff like that happens on stream that reminds for sure me, you know what I mean? Because that's stuff that can happen during life, but it happens on stream as well. It reminds me and probably shows other people that, you know, there's certain situations that, like, I don't know, I just act childish with, and then it's not until you look back on it that you realize, like, oh, that was really stupid to get upset over. But when we were out there, I was like, I really wanted to take photos. So, like, you know, Riley was like, let's not take photos. And I, like, basically had this, like, whole stupid crash out about the whole not being able to take a photo thing.
Yes.
And that turned into like, I don't know, like an hour or 2 of uncomfortableness during the stream. But I feel like we got over it pretty quickly. Wait, did you take your shot already?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another thing where it's like my personal thing where I'm just feeling like I don't want to take a picture.
Yeah.
Because I'm not happy with myself, so I don't really want to take a picture, and it's just like the camera on me.
I think about it like on some like
the pressure
on some like America's Home Video type thing where, you know, imagine well not like not like a beam. I'm talking about like back in the day, 2005, 2006. You sit down and like go through photo albums or like old videos with your family, and you're like. It's like, you know, your dad's recording you, like, you know, waking up, and you're just, like, just wiping your eyes. He's like, good morning, like, go open your presents. You're like, bro, like, get this camera out of my face. Like, what the fuck? And at that moment, you're, like, mad. You're like, bro, why are you filming me? Like, come on, get off of me. Like, bro, what the fuck? Chill out. But then 10 years later, you look back on you're like, oh, man, they're, like, good memories, like, funny shit, right? So that's why I try to document shit as much as possible. And I was just getting frustrated, like, man, like, we're not going to be able to document this. But then guess what? Instead of not being able to document it, I like ruin the vibes, which is 10 times worse than just not being able to document it. We'd rather have a good time than have a bad time and get photos. I don't know. So that's what I realized. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry to the chat as well for just ruining the vibes there for absolutely no reason and being an idiot. But also, people were trying to say Yuri's pinching pennies, doesn't want to get on the fucking London Eye
I
gondola
said no.
thing, right? We both were like kind of already like iffy on it, trying to do it or not, right? That day specifically, the whole week we were there, but that day was like so hot, bro. It was like hella hot. Riley told me that if you get in that little glass little sphere, it takes 45 minutes.
No, Allie said it takes an hour.
It takes an hour, 60 minutes to go in that thing, go all the way around and get back around, right? I looked at a couple of the signs and like shit like that. I didn't see anywhere that said air conditioned. And one thing we've noticed out there is like there's no air conditioning because they don't deal with hot days. It's like you're gonna buy an air conditioner for like 7 days out of the year that's hot. You know what I mean? Like every other day it's like too hot, so they have heaters everywhere. So when it was that hot ass day and I was looking at that fucking like it's literally like a glass ball, bro. It's a fucking bright sunny hot ass day. I was like, there's no way I want to sit in. There's no way I'm spending $70 to sit in that for an hour.
I would have rather done Shrek's Adventure.
I would have 100% rather done Shrek's Adventure.
Next time I kind of want to do Shrek's Adventure.
When you first told me about the London Eye, I was a little bit excited. I was thinking, like, if we got a ciggy on us, we might be able to pull a little carnival situation, you know, smoking that thing. You were like, I remember you said it takes 45 minutes, so I was like, ooh, perfect clutch, 45 minutes to hotbox this thing. We hop out and dip. And then I get there and realize it's like, oh, you can go through with the group. There's a bartender in the middle. That's kind of cool and clutch. But then also, are we going to be baking in that shit? Like, what?
Yes, probably yes.
What happens if, like, you're 20 minutes in and you're like, I can't fucking breathe, bro. It's too hot in here. And they're like, sorry, sir. We have another 30 minutes until the shit's done. You're like, bro.
We were baking in most places we went.
No, yeah. I was going to say, like, what are you saying? We were baking in most places? No, 100%, bro. It was so hot out there. But okay, so we did that, and then one thing I am really glad I got to see in person. I'm so upset I did not get to skate it, but we both got to see South Bank skate park, and that shit was interesting to me because all the footage I've seen tons of footage of South Bank. It's an old ass place. All the footage I've seen of it is literally of the banks, the sixth stair, and like the ledges that like lead up to the sixth stair, and it's always like filmed either from the inside. And I saw like one clip where it's like Louis Lopez, he does like a front side flip out of it over the railing, and then like he steals some dude's beer and then just drinks the beer, and the dude's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not sure if it was like planned or not, but I remember seeing that shit, and I remember thinking like, oh, there might be like a bar nearby or something like that, but I would have never expected it to be like right there. The London Eye is one of the big, like when you go to London, everyone's like, you have to see the London Eye, so it's one of the big touristy spots.
Yeah.
10 minutes away or like 7 minutes away by walk is the South Bank skate park.
Less than, I think.
Like literally, yeah, like a 3-minute walk away on the same little street. I was like, it's just so interesting that, you know, skateboarding is not really well, like if they put a skate park in LA, they're putting it in probably like a bad area. They really don't like putting skate parks in good areas out here. You know what I mean? Like, or especially like touristy areas other than Venice Beach, I guess that's like one example of that. But I was like surprised to see that shit was like right there on the fucking touristy block, and then actually walking through it, I was like, dude, there's so much more to it. There's like a whole back section and all this shit that you never get to see. It's so weird, like seeing something online for so long and then seeing it in person. It's like a weird fucking like a VR headset experience almost, you know.
Go on.
There's nothing else to go on about. I done said everything. Jeez.
I'm just listening to you.
Oh my god.
Well, then you went to Hob King, right?
Yeah.
That was the same day, right?
Well, do you have anything to say about things? I've already been like yapping for so long.
I know. Well, that was like your thing.
The South Bank thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, we were like in kind of a bad mood from Photogate.
Oh my god, really? So you were checked out?
But it was I do agree that I wasn't checked out, but I do agree that it was dope that it was right next to Big Ben and the London Eye. I wouldn't expect the skate park right there.
Also, yo, random fact.
F you didn't even reply to what I said.
About what?
You just laughed at me.
Oh my god, I did not just laugh at you. And then I'm
Whatever.
sorry, I'm just double checking that our mics are working, because I just like was like, oh my god, I never even checked if the mics are working. But that's not true. You always do that where you're like, oh, you didn't even reply to me. You don't reply to me all the time after like a whole long rant.
Because you talk a lot and I'm just like lost in the sauce.
Thanks. Jesus. But no, seeing Big Ben and the London Eye was sick, and they're all...
No, I didn't even say that.
What'd you say? Say it again. I'm sorry. I wasn't listening. I was distracted. You're right. Can you repeat it?
Nope, I'm good.
Please.
Anyways, you went to your Hop King.
No, before Hop King, there's something else I want to talk about.
What?
But can you please repeat what you have to say?
I'm
Why
good.
not? You're gonna be petty.
Yep.
Can you please repeat
Just talk what
Be-
what were you gonna say?
I just had a little mini panic attack because I was like, oh my god, we're an hour and a half into this, and I never even checked if the mics were working. But then I looked over, I was like, okay, the mics are working, and I got temporarily distracted. I'm sorry.
This is why I don't talk.
So this whole podcast is just me talking?
I've been talking. I don't like that you said I haven't been talking.
No, I didn't say you haven't been talking, but you're saying this is why I don't talk.
Yeah, you don't listen.
I do listen, dude. I literally listen all the time. I listen very well.
Whatever.
Oh my! Oh, can you please repeat it?
No.
You ask me to repeat shit all the time, and if I say no, you get so mad.
And you don't.
I do. More recently I do because
Nothing. I was just agreeing with you. So let's just move on because we're so
Jesus
like
Christ. Okay.
far
Well,
into
okay.
the pod.
Random little fact.
Barely
that,
into the trip.
Shout out to the taxi driver. He told us this. We call it Big Ben. It's not Big Ben no more. It's fucking the Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben has had a sex change, and it was 10 years ago.
We have to make this faster.
No, we don't. Really?
I feel like.
Do you want to finish it already?
No.
Is that what it is?
We're just on day 2.
I know, but I have to get this information off because this
Okay.
was a shocker to me. We all call it Big Ben, Big Ben, Big Ben. It's the Elizabeth Tower. It used to be called Big Ben, and they renamed it the Elizabeth Tower 10 years ago, apparently. But Big Ben is the bell, the name of the bell that's inside of it. Big Ben is also the biggest bell that has been made in London or whatever it is, right? And also, I guess London or that area in London is like known for making bells. Big Ben is the biggest bell they've ever made, but the second biggest bell they've ever made is
The Liberty Bell.
the Liberty Bell. Is that not cool?
It is.
That's pretty trippy. We like separated from Britain. We had a whole war. We threw their tea in the ocean, and our bells are made by the same manufacturer.
And then he said there was a conspiracy theory that
They cracked it by purpose. I know.
I kind of believe that.
That's kind of cool, bro. It's like some national treasure information. You're like, ooh, wow, like.
I'm sure people know that though.
I know, we didn't know that.
But I didn't know it.
No one knows that shit. I didn't even know it was called the Elizabeth Tower. I was like, this is some cool clutch information over here.
The Brits know. Why are you putting the cord in between your toes? He's putting his headphone cords in between his toes like floss. What the fuck?
I'm gonna call you out on the weird shit. You always touch your hair. How about that?
That's not weird. It's normal.
I'm just messing around here. Why
I'm
you
just messing around here.
Stop looking at it, dude. What the fuck?
You like how it feels?
Can you bring up a topic? You said you had shit written down too.
We're going through day by day.
Oh my god. No,
All right, so let's go to day 3.
You're calling me out. No, I didn't even get to talk about Hop King.
See?
You're calling me out from playing with my
I tried
headphones.
to bring a topic up. and-
Jesus Christ. It was, babe, I literally was doing that in confidence because I knew it was hidden behind the table. And then you're going to call me out for it.
It's funny.
That's weird. Imagine like I saw you scratch your butt and I was like, "Oh, did you just scratch your butt?"
You would.
Oh my god. Okay. Either way,
That's
guys,
the thing.
I finally, not like it was like a huge goal of mine, but like it was for sure like a random interest where like I never thought I'd be there. You know what I mean? Like I never thought we'd go to London. I didn't know Hop King was like right there in London, but there's this one skateboarder, I think his name's Jamie Griffin. He's like really well known for like doing super technical shit. He skates for Hop King. That's the whole reason why I know of it, but it's like a brewery who I guess they're trying to get into the skateboarding world as well, where they started a skateboarding company and they have basically like a beer brewery plus a skate park mixed together, like an indoor skate park. We went there and they're super cool. That show was like a very interesting experience. One thing the chat pointed out immediately, which is like the liability thing of you go there, you pay admission, right? Just to go in there, you got to be like old enough. You got to be 18 or older. You got to be 18 to drink in Britain. So to pay admission to skate the skate park, you get a beer with the admission.
Yeah, that was
So
fair.
already, boom, you're off one beer, right? You're like, fuck it, I'll get another beer. You're off a couple beers, feeling a little tipsy, trying to do a nollie flip, no slide, slip out, hit your head. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like, obviously you probably have to sign some paperwork to get in there, but like, it just sounds like a recipe for disaster for a company to be like, hey, come here, drink and skateboard. It's cool and I fuck with it heavy, but like, it just sounds a little dangerous, right? I don't know.
I think there's so many places like that.
Like what?
Roller skating rinks, right?
They offer drinks?
I think so, right? They have to offer beer or like beer and wine, probably. Maybe not hard liquor.
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding too.
They have bars like in between where you can buy beers and shit. Okay, never mind.
The race car track.
Oh, you're right.
Go karting.
That's for sure. Yeah, you could. They literally saw me slamming White Claws and then hopping in the go karts. So, okay, you're right. But that show was sick because there's nothing like that in LA. So that was a really cool experience. They were super chill with me. There was the indoor skate park, and there was literally right outdoors was. It's not a part of Hop King, but there's like a London skate park right outside of it, right next door. So it's like 2 skate parks in one. You get. And they were letting me use their like rentable skateboards to go skate outside. It was really cool. Shout out to them, man. I appreciate them. And if you guys ever go to London, you guys skate, I for sure would check it out. You seem so over it. You're like,
no.
I'm tired. Either way, okay. Day 3, bro.
This is your lover day?
No, day 4 is. Well, stop saying lover day. What the? No, don't say that. That's weird.
What?
It was not. No, that was day 4, I think, or like day 5.
No, I'm talking about the fucking.
UK Hoover.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's don't. That's what I'm saying. Don't say lover boy. That's weird. What? Nothing. Okay, bro. Anyways, day 3, I wake up. I was waking up before Riley this whole trip. Isn't that trippy?
I know,
bro. I'm so used to like we live in a world here where by the time I wake up, Riley has already.
I kind of liked it.
Riley has already done this and that and done all these things. But when we're in London, I would be waking up
and brought me coffee,
and I'd be like bringing Riley coffee and
that
like
so
already
nice.
doing and already doing things. But it was like we're on the other side of the world and like our lives were reversed basically. It was pretty interesting. But yeah, so day 3 comes around. I was like, I think I got Riley iced coffee that day, but I decided to go to Abbey Road. Abbey Road was like a mile away from our Airbnb, and bro, going there in person was definitely interesting. It looks a little bit different. They've added a couple of different new lines. Obviously, the buildings look a little bit different, but I am not a Beatles historian, so sorry for being a little, ignorant here or not educated, but I knew there was an Abbey Road studio that was right there, and I knew there was Abbey Road. I thought that Abbey Road was famous because the Beatles just randomly chose this random street that they used to chill and smoke on or some shit. They took a picture there, the street became famous, and then they started the studio on the street or some shit like that. But no, there was Abbey Road Studio where the Beatles recorded, Pink Floyd recorded, a lot of famous artists have recorded from London and shit. They recorded at Abbey Road Studio, and the Beatles took a photo right outside the studio.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that either.
Also, you know what I didn't know? Shout out to whoever it was, but someone was donating under the name London Facts. Thank you so much. and they said a bunch of shit that I probably can't even remember, but I'm one of the things they said was that the Beatles for that album cover, I forgot what the name of the album was, but for that album cover of Abbey Road, the original album cover they wanted to do was a picture of them on top of Mount Everest, or like they wanted to be on the highest place in the world,
mm-hmm.
but then they weren't really down to do the whole trek to go
climb.
to do the climb up to Mount Everest, and then also it was too expensive, or like something had happened where
that's hella work.
The plan had not worked out, and then they were like, "What's plan B? Let's take a picture right outside the studio, like right outside from where we record." So it was way cheaper, way easier, and
less
also
is more.
And also, it's legendary now.
Yeah.
You know, imagine if it was a photo with them on top of a mountain.
That's so corny.
How many people are gonna see snow and be like, "Ah, yes, Mount Everest"?
You're gonna have to go to the fucking
And then no one's ever gonna be able to go there either. We can actually just go to fucking Abbey Road. But it was cool going there. And also, one thing I noticed was to get that photo, that legendary photo, you have to be in the middle of the street. Abbey Road is not some small little random side street. It is a busy street. There's like constantly cars going down it, and also cars there like they have a strict speed limit, but the cars there like don't really slow down for people. Like they just basically keep going. Like they expect you to fucking get the fuck out the way. And I noticed when I went there, I captured it on stream, which was like there was like some lady trying to take a picture of her friend in the middle of the street, and you basically have to like just get in the way. You know what I mean? Like, and it's impossible to have a bunch of people taking a picture at the same time. It's like one person at a time, and there would be cars passing by this lady like honking, and she'd be like, "Fuck you," like, you know, like, "Fuck off," like, "I'm trying to get this photo," and type shit. Like I was like, damn, I didn't realize. When I saw Abbey Road, I thought it was just like some small like West Hollywood street that maybe one car drives every fucking 30 minutes, but that shit's a busy street. It's damn near impossible to get that photo. To get that photo of all 4 of us walking in the street would have been...
That would have been so...
It would have taken us like 15 minutes to get that one photo.
And we were already on the time crunch.
Bro,
that would have been a hot mess.
But that's the biggest... That's an L. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry. I know you should live life with no regrets, but... The fact that Riley and I, Toke and Allie, were in London a mile away, 1.6 miles away or something like that, from Abbey Road, and we didn't take a photo on the road, I was like, bruh, when's the next time we're going to do that? And then imagine we're in London with another couple, and we actually do the photo. It's going to seem fake. We're going to be like, bro, this could have been someone else.
No, we're going to go back with them.
Either way, yeah, I got to go see fucking Abbey Road. Bluetooth comes over again. That's what I have in my notes right here. Bluetooth came over again. I think
yes,
this one
I gotta meet Bluetooth.
You guys got to finally meet. Bruh, shout out to Bluetooth, but he literally like
jinxed us.
Wait, for what? Oh yeah. I guess he jinxed us as well, but
he did.
He pulled the same like Trapler Ross card, which was just like
oh, he was just grilling us.
It's not even. I noticed it. It's the same thing Trapler Ross was doing, which is like to them. It's not grilling. They're like
they're smart and funny.
They're playing this like smart, funny, like ignorant, like troll card where they're just like, I don't know, but what's going on with this? They're tapped in enough to know everything, but not tapped in enough to understand what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it doesn't make sense. And
I just want you to explain.
And bro, exactly. And
I was like, am I on a podcast?
Dude, and I forgot exactly what he was bringing up, but Bluetooth was like doing this shit where he was just like asking certain. It was the same
He's
thing.
like, that RV trip, Riley. How did you do? I mean,
oh no! When he he was asking you about the crash out in Vegas.
Yeah.
He was like, Riley, I gotta ask you, why'd you do that in Vegas? And I was just like, bro, what kind of question is that?
I was like,
why are you just gonna like? I was like, dude, this is literally Trapler Ross 2.0 right now. I was like, is it just like some UK thing just to be like, you don't leave any stone unturned. You're like, I gotta ask this question. Sorry.
I think they're just very blunt.
That was fucking funny. But Bluetooth also is like, have a good time in Harry Potter world. Don't argue. Don't have any stupid arguments. And this was probably my biggest regret of the trip. Many regrets on my part.
Picturegate 2.0.
Picturegate 2.0. I don't know.
We don't have to talk about it. We can talk about the positives.
Yeah,
why don't we not talk about? Because we've already
explained this and talked about this so many times.
We
and
can
I feel
talk
like
about the
every
positives.
time we get into it, I'm like, bro,
yeah,
like
so
this
lame.
again. But basically, it was Picturegate 2.0. I done fucked up.
It's
I
okay.
said things I regret. I'm sorry, Riley. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, everyone that had to see that. I'm sorry to everyone
I could have
that got upset by that. I apologize.
been chiller too, as well, and not insecure. Anyways, it was still a beautiful experience. Okay, it was cool to see.
And that's another regret where like I'm like, bruh, when's the next time we're gonna be in London seeing Harry Potter World?
Oh my god! So we're gonna talk about it like this again?
Well, I'm mad at myself. I'm not mad
Okay.
at you. I'm mad at myself. I'm like, god damn. I'm like, I fucked up the whole thing, dude.
Well,
Being an idiot.
it is what it is. You live and you learn, I guess.
Yeah, but
Just don't repeat it.
we also had to take a bus and a train there and back. And I have to say, once again, bro, their trains are so nice. And I'm not sure. I think this happened in London or in Amsterdam, but at one point, Riley and I were taking a train, and I don't know if it was like a private section or not, but for sure the trains did have like classes where you can buy like economy, first class or whatever it is on the train. And I don't think there's anyone that stops you from going onto those sections. It's just like you're supposed to self-monitor yourself. But I think we ended up going onto like a first class section, and it was like, bro, it was so nice. There's so much space, leg room. And I think those girls went on too, and they had the same experience as us, which is like, are we supposed to be here? I don't know. Fuck it.
Which one?
I think it was when we were actually, was it when we were leaving Amsterdam?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, that's what.
Okay, never mind. So that was in London.
That was Amsterdam.
Never mind.
That one was nice.
But honestly, even in London, the above ground trains were fucking nice.
Their just whole system is very efficient.
Yes, but the below ground trains, if you guys are going to travel in London,
I'd avoid that.
you're going to have to use them at
Sometimes.
you're going to have to use them at some points, right? You could avoid them with the bus or something like that, but
going to Camden, you have to.
but the only reason I'm bringing this up is if you're like fresh off the airplane and you got like luggage with you, that shit's a pain in the dick, dude. That shit is so terrible. You got to be prepared for that. Don't think like, oh, I just got off the plane, like, we're here, baby.
I can have these big ass bags.
Yeah, like, don't start buying sodas and snacks and other bags to carry. Like, bro, like, get to your hotel or Airbnb as quick as possible and drop off your shit, because like traveling in those underground tubes, it's so compressed, bro, and you got all this luggage with you. That shit's tough, bro. And then also, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, we got back and then we went to a restaurant. The restaurant was, I forgot.
Where did we go?
It was called Monkey Puzzle.
Oh yeah.
But for some reason, Riley and I were sitting at some table and I had the camera set up on us, and there was like this sign to the right of us that said, "The poke my muzzle." Oh no, the poke my nuzzle. And I was like, what? And I was like, and I didn't want to say it on stream because I don't want to like dox the restaurant we were at, but I was like, how do you write the poke my nuzzle from Monkey Puzzle? I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this doesn't even make sense. But that was an interesting situation. And also, the point.
Waitress was so scared of the TTS.
Oh yeah, the waitress was like freaking out. She was like,
what the fuck?
yeah, she didn't understand
That
it.
was not.
Because for a person that doesn't even know what streaming is, it's so much to explain.
Yeah.
Like, they really probably are thinking like, I don't know, they're probably tripping out. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that was the point I realized that I had the exact same experience in Greece, or we had the exact same experience in Greece, which is they don't have any ranch in London. Be prepared, guys. Riley and I love ranch. Jack in the Box ranch, Carl's Jr. ranch, Ralph's ranch. I don't know, any ranch other than McDonald's ranch. That shit's pretty trash.
Yeah.
But bro, I fucking ranch, dude. And if you're gonna order onion rings, or if you're gonna sell onion rings, it should be a crime. It should be illegal to sell onion rings without ranch. It doesn't make sense. It's like selling pizza with like ketchup instead of marinara sauce.
Ew.
It's like, oh yeah, we got ketchup, and I mean we got pizza, and they just take bread and put ketchup on it and like some bologna slices, and they throw it in the oven. They're like, oh yeah, it's pizza. And you're like, no. You're like, bro, that's not, no. Like, don't even make it. It's like, don't even offer that shit. Don't even say you're selling pizza if you're using ketchup as marinara sauce.
Yeah, hell no. If you're using ketchup as marinara sauce, you're sick in the head.
But my point is the fucking ranch.
I know.
How the fuck are you going to offer onion rings?
I think London did have ranch.
No.
At some point.
They didn't.
They drizzled ranch on those wings.
Really?
It was Amsterdam that didn't have ranch.
Bro, no. When we were at that restaurant, the Monkey Puzzle, I literally was looking. It said onion rings, but it says dipping sauce options, and it was like
barbecue.
It was like barbecue, tartar, and like some other shit. And I was like, bro, what is this? I was like, where the fuck is the ranch? I guess I should have asked, but we went to a couple other restaurants and it was the same thing.
They probably don't have buttermilk out
We
there.
literally asked a couple restaurants, like, do you guys have ranch? They're like, huh?
Come again?
It was the same thing in Greece. Like, we were like, do you guys have ranch? And they're like, ranch? Like, what? Like, they'd never even heard the word in their lives before. I'm like, it doesn't even
that was crazy in Greece. They really didn't know what that was.
In Greece, yeah, like
they were like,
they'd never even heard the word before. They're like, ranch? Like, what? Like, they were trying to repeat it. Like, it was like some foreign.
They said we have ketchup and we have mayonnaise.
Bro.
I was like, okay.
And London was the same thing. And I was like saying this on stream where like, it might be a good business option, but like, start a ranch company and go to London and Greece. You're gonna make a kill. Once they taste it, they're gonna be like, wow. They're gonna be like, what? They're gonna think it's like a new invention. They're gonna be like, bro,
let's do it.
Thank God Yuriy and Riley's ranch came to Greece.
Harmonious Ranch.
Harmonious Ranch. My ranch. My thick ranch.
That buttermilk.
Ram Ranch.
Ram Ranch.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Will I get sued if I make a Ram Ranch and sell it in London and Greece? Bro.
Only London and Greece.
They're gonna be.
And Amsterdam.
They're gonna be like, what, bro? Like we would become billionaires.
You could have your own shop in Amsterdam. Ram Ranch stores.
With truffles. Ram Ranch with truffles.
And truffles.
But okay, so now we get to day 4. So guys, at this point we're Day 4 without Token Alley, just by ourselves, like winging it. That's crazy.
Chilling.
It's trippy. It's like, I don't know. Like we had the same experience in Greece too, where like it's so weird to like go somewhere where you've never been before.
You have no idea what to do.
No idea what to do. Different culture, and like you're just like, I don't know. Like we have a little bit of a sense of security because you might be able to catch an Uber. You might be able to download some sort of app. You have online on your phone, but like. I've thought about it a couple times while we were traveling. Is like, dude, imagine doing this in like the 1990s or early 2000s, where you go to Greece, you hop out of the airplane, and your only option is to like hail a cab. You have no other option.
Yeah.
Maybe your other option is to like find someone who speaks Greece and also speaks Greek, and they also speak English, and you're like, hey, where's the bus that goes to this town? And like, bro, like I can't imagine how difficult it was to travel back in the day. You probably really got to plan ahead of time and figure everything out.
Well, Trapler Ross even said that sometimes you have to call a cab ahead of time and get your rides figured out.
When we stayed in Crawley.
Oh yeah, that was impossible.
Yeah, that was literally impossible. I have a funny story about that. I'll say later. I'm not gonna say exactly who. I don't want to say the names or anything like that. But I have a funny story about the whole situation. But okay, yeah. So day 4, I go to get Riley a coffee and run into UK Hoover. So this is where it happened. It was day 4, and you know, this is where I think like this saying comes: no good deed goes unpunished. I woke up that day. I want to make my girlfriend happy. I want to get her a nice coffee. I feel guilty for ruining our Harry Potter trip. I want to make her happy. Let me go get her a nice coffee. I go get her a nice coffee, or I'm on my trip to get her a nice coffee and some breakfast, and then some dude. And like I've said this before, so I feel like a broken record at this point. But guys, in LA, it's pretty easy to tell the difference between like a homeless man, a crazy person, and a regular, you know, just a normal person that you could just like talk to, whatever it is, right? Not normal like that, but just a person who's not fucking out of their mind, basically. And when I ran into UK Hoover, I was literally just streaming. This dude flags me down. He's like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Starts asking me all these questions that were pretty intricate. It seemed like he knew what he was asking. It seemed like he was in the business or whatever it is of like streaming or world. I mean, like the content creation world. And he starts asking certain questions, blah, blah, all this, like a bunch of shit happened. He's like, oh, can you bring me back joint papers? I was thinking I'm going to bring him back joint papers, and then I'm going to ask him, hey, man, can I buy some ciggies off you, or can you link me with some dude who can sell me some ciggies? That was my whole goal there because we had no more weed. I mean, ciggies. Anyways, I go come back, bring him the fucking joint papers. He's like, sit down. He's like, you have a speaker? Can I play some music? He starts playing Michael Jackson and some EDM, and then Ayazi's like show him House Phone's Ketamine song, and I showed him House Phone's Ketamine song. He's like this is a banger, like I like this. He's like, such a good song. And then at a certain point, the chat's like saying like, this guy's homeless, this guy's a crackhead, blah 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 blah. So I was like, all right, let me answer the chat's questions and also my questions and see what this guy is really about. So I was like, what do you do for a living? He's like, oh, I'm a community outreach person or some shit like that. He's like, I bond with people. He's like, are we not bonding? And I was like, pause. I was like, I guess, I don't know, like we're talking and shit, but I was like, pause. And then he's like, yes, like blah, 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 like I'm bonding with you. He's like, would you like to taste my big, sweaty, dirty balls? And I was like, bro. I had like 3 seconds of like calculations in my head of like, how do I handle the situation? And I was like, this is where I gotta call this quits. I take my speaker and I take my phone and I leave and I just like walk away. And I was like, bro. But then a lot of people are like, I would have punched him. I would have faded him on side, blah, 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 whatever. But I'm like, what do you do in that situation?
I don't fucking know. I would have done the same thing. Walk away. I wouldn't have even talked to him in the first place, probably.
But that's what everyone says. But if you're on stream in London, what are you gonna do? Just like keep to yourself the whole time? No, you're trying to talk to people and like.
Not fucking. UK Hoovers.
Like, babe, but I showed you the beginning of the interaction. Would you not have thought he was a normal person?
No.
You would have thought he was weird.
Yes.
Off rip.
Off the fit.
Off the fits?
Yes.
It looked like a normal suit. And
It looked normal?
what, just because it was orange?
It was very loud.
But like people wear suits in London.
No.
Are you getting sleepy? Do you want to end the
No,
pod already? I feel bad
there's
continuing
something
it.
in my eye.
Okay, all right. Jeez. But either way, I run into UK Hoover. It was a whole situation. I don't know what to say, bro. Like, I was on stream. I'm trying to fucking talk to the folks of London. I didn't expect this fool to be a weirdo. He ended up being a weirdo. I don't know what to say. He asked me to suck his big, sweaty, dirty balls. That's a weird request.
Very weird.
And also, if you're going to request someone to suck your balls, you like it's going to be like, yo, you want to suck my big, juicy balls? You're not going to be like, yo, you want to suck my deformed, flat, fucking sweaty, hairy balls? You're going to be like, what? Like, that's not a selling point, you know?
You're so weird.
Really?
Okay. You're saying really?
Bruh. Okay, and then after that, we went to, I forgot the name of the park, but we went to some park and we saw Queen Victoria's monument to her late husband. I finally remember her name.
No, you wrote that shit down after I told
that's
you.
basically remembering it.
Yeah, okay.
That show's interesting. What do you think about that experience?
It was gorgeous.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
You
yup.
explained it so many times, though.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, do you want to get into any like the some of the like the parts of this day? Because I have them all in right there. I just feel like I've been talking so much. That's the only thing.
I know. Well, there's just so much shit that we did, and I don't know.
You don't want to look at the notes?
We just talked about it so much.
Well, there's more stuff. The Queen Victoria shit. Yeah, we could skip over that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we went to the monument, and then after we went to that Thai restaurant, which was actually really good, very well.
Very well. Okay.
Very good.
Jeez.
Sorry, I'm lit.
Oh my! Oh, should we end it then?
No.
Oh my god, I feel bad.
Why?
I don't
You're
want
making it awkward.
I don't want to be
You're
just like the only person talking the whole time.
You're not.
Okay.
I've been talking too.
I know, but okay. Geez, sorry.
You've been carrying the story.
Too much, maybe.
No.
All right. What were you gonna say?
But okay. Anyways, the stream was gonna end, or
now
the
I have
stream
something in
did
my eye.
right? I don't know what it is, but the stream ended, and so we went to like a pub across the street to celebrate, and then Yuri decided to add more time on the clock. How did you come about
Did
this?
someone like spray pepper spray outside, dude? Something like went in my eye. Now shit's bugging me too. Okay, no. So number one, that Thai restaurant, bro. You see that? My fucking eye is like like pink
I'm
now.
tripping.
Pause. Okay, not pink. I don't have pink eye, but it's like squished now. Anyways, number one, huge respects to every restaurant out there that has AC. Because that Thai restaurant, that was the selling point of why we even went in there. Is like they had an actual AC. Wait, was it the Thai? No, yeah, it was the Thai restaurant. So, super fire Thai restaurant. This is the first point in which the timer ended, right? So the timer ended at this point, and like I said from the beginning, I already knew, I didn't expect the time difference to be like that big of a deal, right? Like I really, because I hadn't gone through that shit yet, but like I later realized how big of a deal that shit, or how big of a difference it makes. But since the beginning, before we even went to London, I said that I'm gonna do the dollar minute out there, but if the dollar minute ends at whatever point, I'm still going to stream, but I'm going to stream like periodically. Like Riley and I will wake up, we'll have breakfast, and then we'll think like, oh, what are we going to do today? Harry Potter. Okay, let me schedule a Harry Potter stream. We do the Harry Potter stream, end it, go home, go to sleep, and then the next day we do something else, right? But the whole reason of the dollar minute is just to make it endless, to make it a thing where like you have to be on stream the whole time. That's a whole thing where sometimes people expect me just to be on like literally 100 off some Adderall, cocaine, and like a million shots going at 100% the whole time, never ever taking a break, never like being a little bit tired or sleeping or eating food or whatever. So like that's where it gets a little bit difficult, but the whole point of the dollar minute is just to keep it going endlessly. Anyways, I've said that before where like if it ends, we just go into the regular streams. It ended at the Thai restaurant, and then I was like, all right, we're gonna finish eating food, go home, and then we'll end it there. A lot of the chat was like saying like, bro, this is unfair because I'm a viewer from LA or I'm a viewer from the different time zone, and also just to talk for the people who are in the different time zone. They're like, bro, that's not fair because people are gonna wake up thinking I wanted to donate. I wanted to keep the timer going. And then, you know, I don't even get to participate because I was sleeping while Yuriy was doing the stream. So I was like, fuck, how do I make this fair for everyone? A lot of the chat was saying like, bro, just restart it with 5 minutes and then we'll see if like it just continues at that point. So that was the first time I was like, all right, we'll restart it because the chat's saying, fuck it, we'll restart it. We restarted at like 5 minutes and it went up to like 7 or 8 hours and it basically continued. And that was the first time we had to do that. The next time it was like later on, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Then Token Alley came.
Was it that day?
Yeah, that was that day.
Oh, okay. No, so that was the other reason. So it ended there. But then also the chat was saying that was the reason why they were upset. They were like, yo, Token Alley aren't even here yet. We don't even get to experience the dollar minute stream with Token Alley. And they were just like super bummed about that whole situation. So they're like, bro, restart it with 5 minutes because, you know, Token Alley had not even made it yet. So I was like, okay, for sure. Let's restart it at that point. Guys, I'm going to open up the chat while Riley's gone and see what you guys are saying. Sorry, dude. Sorry if I like rant too much at a certain point. And that's why I'm like, bro, like I want Riley to butt in or say something because I feel like I just rant forever. But either way, yo, shout out to everyone that's in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys so much. If you guys haven't already, please drop a like. We're at 152 likes, bro. Shout out to fucking everyone, man. Yo, and also shout out to E1602 Cachido Yuriy. What the fuck with the IE? Shout out to Scotty. And also facts, drop a follow on my Kick account if you guys haven't already. I'm going to be moving a lot of the IRL streams and just basically a lot of the IRL streams and streams in general to Kick for sure. Enough of London. We're almost done. We have like 2 more days to cover, and then we'll get into the Amsterdam, and then we're basically done. You know, wait, hold on. Ayazi said UK who was a good guy, and you were the weird one, bro. He literally asked me to suck his fucking balls. Ayazi, that's pause. That's weird, bro. Who the fuck? Who says that type of thing, dude? And then and that's strange. And also, I'm like young. I'm like half his age. I'm still old, but I'm half his age. It's strange. UK Hoover. Can I have a sip of that as well? Thank you. All right. Shout out to the chat. Anyways, I was saying that was the main reason why the chat was convinced. Bro, really?
I'm acknowledging what you're saying.
That was the main reason why the chat was telling me restarts because Token Alley coming. You're going like shut up already. You already said this shit.
Dude. Chill.
Oh my god. All right. Well, do you remember when Token Alley got there? Like,
yeah, we went to go to Soho, and we did that long ass walk. We walked all the way from the Airbnb to Soho. Remember?
What do they do? Like, they got to their hotel, and then
they came to our place.
They met up with us at night.
Yeah, and then we went on that walk. We went on the walk. And we tried to find a pub, but nothing was open, remember?
Oh, yes.
Dude.
Bro, like, it feels like you just want to end the pod at this point.
No, I don't.
Oh, my God.
You're like...
Should we just make a part 2 and talk about it?
No, you're distracted now.
Okay, I wasn't distracted.
Yeah.
I was trying to listen to you, but, like, you were going, like saying one
because
word
you're, like, texting on your phone and...
Oh, my... I was not texting, but okay, anyways, Token Alley came through. We went out at night. This is like kind of, if we just talk about it like that verbatim, it's gonna like it just like I don't know. It's gonna be boring to listen to.
I was trying to.
We have to give our personal experiences on the situation. Try to remember what we thought or what we saw or what we did or something like that.
Okay. I just remember it. I remember it being a long ass walk and like
Bruh.
You're making it not fun to talk.
Oh, really, dude?
Yeah.
What did I say? Jesus Christ.
You're like making it like a specific way to like speak on a podcast.
Oh my God. No, I'm really.
Yeah.
I'm being a podcast Nazi.
Mm-hmm. You're carrying it. Like I don't understand why you're putting all the pressure on me. Yuriy.
Oh my God. Well, I just feel like I've been talking so much. That's what I keep saying. All right. Anyways.
Well, you have been.
What did we do that day though? So we wanted to go to a pub, and then we were like, okay, this pub is like a 15-20 minute walk away, and we ended up like
no, it was like an hour. It was like 30 minutes to an hour.
But we ended up walking for like 2 hours, and I don't think we ever even got to a pub, right?
No, it wasn't there. It was never there. It was there like a long time ago, but when we got there, it wasn't there anymore.
So it had
It closed down, I guess.
Bro, like that was like that was one of the that was probably like an L situation that we caught because we left with like an hour left to drink and go to a pub, and by the time we even got to the area, like took us 2 hours to get there. It was already closed, and like we were like, we had walked so far to like not even get to the place, and then we had to walk. Did we not walk back as well?
Yeah, we walked back.
Bro, that was like.
I think we took like a taxi halfway through. I can't remember though.
That for sure, out of the trip, that was the most amount of walking I've ever done. And also, pause, I'm sorry if this is TMI, but I don't know what it is about the London weather. Maybe it's more humid out there. Maybe I don't know what it was. But bro, maybe it was just because we walked for fucking like 4 hours. But I got like the chafing of a lifetime. I'm like I said, I got a bony ass. I'm not like a thick dude. I don't got like a lot of meat to rub against each other. But Riley saw. Pause. Also, Riley took a photo. But I think it was that night where Riley like looked at my butt and she was like, "Oh my god, like your ass!" Like,
yeah, it was scary,
bro. It was like literally fucking swollen. I had pause. Like I said, TMI. People were saying I was capping. People in the chat were going like, "Bro, Yuri's capping. He's a complainer. He's just complaining." It was like fucking swollen, dude. And it was literally from that fucking like 3 or 4 hour walk. And then like, what did we do? We just went home and went to sleep at that point, basically, right?
Yeah, we were just hella tired.
This next morning was probably like the first experience we had where Toke said that when we were staying in Amsterdam, we had this like college vibe because we were both in the pods like across from each other. And we were like at one point like having our doors open, like kicking in shit. The next morning was like I kind of had that vibe already of like kind of being in college because Riley and we like overslept or something like that, right? I'm not sure if I was on stream or not, but
no, I don't think you were. I don't remember.
Was this? Yeah,
no, that was the next day.
I don't remember either. Was I on stream? Because I remember Toke and Ali basically came through and they woke us up. They like came to the front door. They were like, "Yo, Yuriy, Riley."
Oh yeah.
And then like they were like yelling through the window and they woke and like bro.
So then you weren't on stream.
Right? I can't even fucking remember, bro. It's so hard to like remember exactly everything that happened, but that was such an interesting experience to be woken up by Toke and Ali outside, yelling outside of our window.
Yeah, that was funny.
They're like, "Yo, guys, wake up!" And then you open the door and Toke's already on 100 and got a beer in hand, ice cold beer in hand. Ali's just like, you know, like happy as hell, like, "Oh, like what are we doing?" And bro, and this is also where I feel super bad. Apologies to Toke and Ali. I should probably apologize to them in person, but I felt bad because they would come to our house like 9 or Airbnb like 9-10 in the morning, prepared, ready to hit the streets, and we'd be like wiping crust out of our eyes, like, "All right, we're just getting our day started now." And I'd be like, "Bro, I feel bad. Like we're that couple. We're that like couple that gets a late start to their day."
They're morning people.
But also no, they were already used to the time zone though. That's the other thing.
That's true.
Because they were already out for like
no, we were there for hella days too.
Actually, no, you're right. We were there for like 4 days, but I was not able to get a good night's sleep because of the chat. But then also they were already in like Europe for like a month, so I feel like they were really used to waking up early at that point. It like felt normal to them. But yeah, I felt like super shitty about that situation.
That was also the worst day there, where we just were fighting all day.
That day?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it the next day?
No, it was that day.
No, I think it was the next day.
Mm-mm.
It was not after Hop King?
That was Hop King Day.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I have it written right here. The chafing day. Look, I have it right here. Butt was chafed from walking. That was...
No, this is this day.
No.
Ali and Toke woke us up.
Oh, okay, you're right. The day they woke us up. Crash Out Part 4 on my part.
Horrible day.
Oh my god.
It was just an all day fight, and that's when the stream ended at the dinner.
Yes. But
I don't even think you had to talk about it.
God damn. Oh, you don't think I have to talk about it, or I have talked about it?
No, we don't even have to talk about it.
Okay.
Because let's just move on. We have so much more days.
I do want to talk about Amsterdam for sure, but okay. Ali and Toke woke us up. We went to Hop King, and that was a cool experience for sure. Was going to Hop King with Toke because it must have been like like a heaven for Toke. Well, actually, no, there's no like indoor surfing, so he's probably like, not a super heaven. But bro, there's literally, it's just beer, cheap beers, and also like an indoor skate park, and there's like a half pipe and shit. So I was like, bro, Toke is for sure gonna enjoy this, and it was just cool for all of us to kick it. You and Allie, I felt kind of bad. Like, there's really not much for you guys to do.
We were chilling, and we were planning the Amsterdam trip.
Oh, really? Okay. At one point, Toke and I are just having a blast, like skating the half pipe. We're like, oh, this is so much fun, like drinking beer, skating. And I was like, look over, and you and Allie are just on your phones, like at the table. I was like, oh man, I feel a little bit bad. You guys just like probably like thinking like, oh, these dickheads are just having a blast while we're doing nothing.
We could have walked around if we wanted to. We were just planning all the trip shit.
Yeah. And yeah, there's probably a lot of shit to plan. But either way, Hopking, that shit was super sick. What else happened? Okay, and then we all went to a sushi restaurant. The sushi actually was really good out there.
About that.
And that's where the stream ended the second time. And at that point, I was already like, all right, stream is done. And the guys, I've talked about this before, where it becomes like a double-edged sword. You're a scammer if the stream ends, because people are like, what the fuck? Different time zone. I missed it, didn't have an opportunity, this and that, blah, blah, whatever. People are mad because it ended. And by the time they join, it's already ended. And then people are mad if I restart it because they're like, scammer. And I agree with that, because it's like, what is the point of $1 a minute if you're just going to continue restarting it, But it ended at that at the sushi restaurant, and then people in the chat were saying like, bro, restart it again. I was like, I'm not restarting it. And then someone said like, if someone donates $60 for an hour, restart it. And I was like, okay, we'll do that. So someone donated $60 and we restarted the stream once again that time. And at that point, I probably should have just let the stream end.
For real.
I should have just been like, okay, it's over with at this point. We'll just call it an L. And one of my notes right here says, went to Hop King and got too drunk, basically.
Yeah, what we did.
And then that was basically the whole crash out day, where apologies guys, but I feel like it was really needed, in which like I have no regrets on the part where like it was super needed at that point. But at that nighttime, I still had like an hour or two on the timer, and I was like, guys, Riley and I really have to talk off stream and not have the pressure of like, I need to go back on stream as soon as possible, so we need to talk now type thing, So it was like I needed to basically get off stream so we could just talk, chill, kick it, and just get over the whole situation. And so at that point, that night I ended the stream, and then we had 1 day left, and since we had 1 day left, I was thinking that since the beginning, before we even got there, which is I really wanted Toke to have a really.
Why are you doing
stop,
that? Dude.
What? It helps me think. Okay, Jesus Christ.
Toe rapper.
I was thinking about this since the beginning, which is we're out there with Toke. Toke was like trying to stream off his phone, but obviously your phone doesn't have the best service, especially for streaming and shit. So I was like, I wanted Toke to have the opportunity to stream off the live view while we were out there, and it was the last day. I had already like called it, like a pause on the night before. So the last day I was like, Toke, you could use the live view for your stream today. So and Toke streamed for like 12 hours that day. He streamed the whole fucking day. So we basically streamed for 12 hours with Toke on the Spliff Mode TV channel, with Toke and Allie on the Spliff Mode TV channel the last day. I forgot what we did.
We went to Camden.
Oh yes, we went to Camden. That people have asked me what's my favorite memories or favorite parts of London. Camden for sure was one of them.
Yeah, Camden was really cool vibe.
Camden.
It kind of reminded me of like
Chinatown.
San Francisco in a way.
Really?
Like
Actually, yeah, a little bit. I could see that.
Where Fisherman's Wharf is, like all the like counterfeit designer shit, like that is
I could see that
so
for
San
sure.
Francisco.
But also, bro, Camden. You go to
And then there's like that marketplace where all the food is. It's like just so random.
the
There's,
food
like, so
marketplace was fire for sure, but the food was
It
like
was a
mid-tier.
mid.
It was all mid-tier because they're like cooking it up so quick
Yeah.
all day every day. But like it was,
The glizzy was the best.
it
I
was
think.
pretty. Yeah, the glizzy was good, but it was pretty. It was not that bad. It was still pretty chill, But
was mids.
what was I gonna say? Camden had this really interesting experience where you go to any other tourist area, and obviously there's gonna be stores that sell the exact same Hollywood magnets, exact same Hollywood trophies and all this shit, right? But it's usually not an exact copy and paste store. We were walking down Camden, and it was like every store had the exact same display, bro. It was like same magnets displayed the exact same way. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. It was like every single one. And I was like, bro, how do you even make a profit when every store sells the exact same shit? But a lot of people in London were saying that a lot of those stores are like
owned by the same person.
no, they're like fronts.
Oh.
They're like money laundering schemes where basically
shit.
you open up a store and you say, oh, we made $50,000 in profit, but really you're like, for example, selling drugs on the side, and you declare that 50K in drugs you made as we sold 50,000 magnets or some shit like that, you know? And that's why they're saying, like, that's why you see all those copy and paste stores, because a lot of them are laundering fronts.
Got it.
And apparently London police, like, knows about this. There's like, they just can't, like, do anything about it. But a lot of people are telling this on stream, so it's not like I'm fucking revealing any secrets here or anything like that. But Camden for sure was a cool experience. And also one thing I didn't know, Evil and also Trapple Ross are telling me about this, but when we went to Camden, it was like such good vibes. It was like good food. Everyone's so nice. You know, what's her name? What's the singer's name?
Oh, Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse used to live there. Like, it just seems like a really nice, chill vibe there, right? But Evil and Trapple Ross are telling me, like, Camden is like notorious for being one of the most dangerous areas. They're like, that's where all the stabbings and shootings and murders and kidnappings and you know, burglaries and all that shit happens. And I was like, bro, I would have never even expected. When we went there, we were literally saying, like, next time we come to London, we would want to stay in Camden. But after listening to Evil and Trapple Ross, they're like, bro, like,
don't.
They're like, it gets dangerous there after the sun sets. We weren't even there at night.
No, we weren't. We left during like daytime.
We left when the sun was setting, so like it might turn into a different place. Sorry guys, it's Lola probably. It turns into a whole different place at night apparently, or even like probably different parts of Camden. But that basically covers our whole London trip. Sorry guys, I know that some of this stuff might seem like redundant or repetitive, but one thing we have to remind ourselves, babe, is like there's a lot of people who watch Ten Talks who are not tapped into the streams, and also even the people, babe, who are watching the streams, they're not able to watch everything, you know. So it's like a good thing to like tell people some of our experiences. We
stay long on a topic.
So what? Is it a bad thing? Like, I think it's a good thing that like the podcast is going longer today.
Yeah.
All right, Amsterdam. We could just cover it in a whole. We don't have to go day by day here. But Amsterdam, what'd you think?
I thought it was lit.
Obviously.
Because, I mean, I've always wanted to go because of the movie The Fault in Our Stars. I want Yuri to watch it. There's like this whole part of, a main part of the movie is them going to Amsterdam and sightseeing and stuff. And I always thought it like looked like a cool place, but they never showcased like the coffee shops and stuff. But
or the red light district.
Or the red light district, like in the movie. I don't think so.
It was just like a romantic place.
It's like a romantic place. Yeah. And then later on, I like started learning more about Amsterdam, and I learned about how like they had the prostitutes at the windows, and like you could smoke in coffee shops. But I was thinking that's like an actual like coffee shop. I wasn't. That's what I
always thought too.
It was a bar. I thought it was a coffee shop where you could smoke and drink coffee, and I'm like, that's perfect for me too. But it's even doper that it was like a bar, and like every single coffee shop had its own vibe, which was like even cooler. Like every place was different. Like I don't know. I loved it.
My whole time.
I kept saying it was like European Vegas. Like that's how I would like picture it. Like I would describe it.
I feel like more lit than Vegas. Not as glamorous.
It's not as lit because it's like more like, I guess it's lit if you're
a guy.
Yeah, a guy. Or like you're like shroomy or something like that.
Nah, I feel like it's super lit for everyone. Because even like Trapple Ross doesn't drink or smoke. Oh, he like probably smokes a little bit, but he doesn't drink. Like I'm sure he's not partaking in the red light district, but like even he like says like everyone goes out there. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a fun time. Like you're saying, it's like a Vegas, but they don't have Caesar's Palace or some shit like that. You know?
I think it's more chill vibe, a more chill vibe than Vegas though.
Yeah. Okay. Then that it is.
It's like, a more relaxed vibe.
For sure. 100%.
Still lit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Still lit.
But in a different way.
What was I gonna say? Also, yes, I agree with Riley. Where like my whole life hearing about Amsterdam and hearing about the coffee shops, I've always in my mind just like you try to picture shit that people tell you, and every time I've seen movies and heard about it, I always pictured, like Riley said, You walk into like some Starbucks and there's like people just there, you know, with their legs like crossed,
With a
like
spliff.
smoking a spliff or whatever it is, and you're just like, oh, sick, like this is cool. Number one is, like Riley said, they probably do sell coffee, maybe if you ask for it, but it's really like a bar. You walk in, it's like a bar situation, and you can smoke weed in there. Number one thing, I didn't know this. I was kind of shocked by this. I, you know that Europe, they're known for smoking cigarettes. Everyone, you can literally smoke cigarettes in like a lot of restaurants and shit like that. Like, it's literally fine. But when you go to a coffee shop, it says no tobacco. You have to use this herbal mix that we have. Toke was like making fun of the herbal mix, saying it looks like hay. It literally looks like some
Oregano.
like oregano, basically. Like, take oregano and throw some like yellow leaf, crunched up leaf in there, and it kind of looks like that. It's so weird, bro. Like, it smells kind of strange as well.
We tried it one day.
We did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like, I'm not a fan of it. But like, they're saying you got to use that shit instead. You know, call me a sinful criminal here, but I was sneaking tobacco into the spliffs, and no one was said a thing. Allie said that she had an experience where she went to Amsterdam before, and she was smoking a spliff in the coffee shop, and someone told her like, "Hey," she said that they didn't even told her to put it out. They just told her, "Hey, next time you have to use the herbal mix." So she said she got called out on it for the smell before. We never got called out, not even once. Never even got caught for it. Actually, no, we did get caught. Some dude was like, "Hey, you have to use the herbal mix." I was like, "Okay."
It was like when we first like walked in and you like started pulling out your tobacco, and he was like,
"Oh,
you can't
yeah,
do that."
And I literally just walked outside and just like did outside, walked back in, and they don't say anything. I think they really don't care.
It's just the law.
I think it's just like the law, and they can't be okay with it.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it, it's like you can just get away with it type shit. But like Riley said, it's not a coffee shop. It's literally just like a bar, and that also is just such a clutch mix of just being able to go to the bar with your homies and like roll up a spliff and like get some drinks and shit. Like, you'll be stuck in there all day.
Exactly. No, that shit's dangerous.
And
The movie one.
Which, I know, bro.
You could be there all day.
We should talk about that too, but like some of our local bars that were right next to our Airbnb, well, not Airbnb, our hotel, our pod. We should talk about that as well. But
experience.
A couple of the bars that were right next to our pod, you go into the bar, you go to the back of it, and there's like a window that shows the canal and the rest of Amsterdam, and like you could really just sit there next to a window and smoke by the wall. It's so sick, dude. Like,
oh yeah, that was the coolest one.
One thing I feel like a lot of smokers appreciate is like a cool smoking vibe or smoking area. Like, imagine being like, I don't know, like in a comfy living room and a comfy couch with a nice coffee table, and like you're just chilling there with your homies or your friends, and you're just like, able to smoke and chill. Like, that's literally the type of environment they provide for you, like just for free. Mm-hmm. Well, not for, they expect you to buy a drink. You could buy like a Sprite and then you could kick it in there type shit. But that shit is so sick. Like, that is the one thing about Amsterdam, and it sounds so cringy and, you know, cliche, but like the vibe is just so unique out there. You can't replicate that anywhere because they have, their laws are so
unique.
Yeah, you're like free, you know.
Yeah.
They really don't care, and like there's nowhere else you could just kick it there and just be smoking. I wonder how likely it is that, you know, also how many locals are going to those bars that we're going to. Is that like literally 100% tourists? Number one.
No, I don't think so.
You think it's locals too? And number two is, how likely is it that some of the girls that are in those bars, they're like also just chilling there smoking, are later that night working in the windows?
I don't know. That's
what I was wondering too. Is like, where do these red light window workers go during the day?
Well, they're human beings also.
I know. That's what I'm saying, is they're human beings.
They have lives. They're fucking cleaning their houses and going grocery shopping.
How many
and
of
probably
them?
going to a coffee shop too.
How many of them are like in monogamous relationships where they have like a boyfriend or even a husband?
I bet some.
And like
it's not monogamous.
The dudes, I know it's not monogamous, but like have a boyfriend, and the dude's just like,
some.
"How was work today, babe?"
I think so.
She's like, "It was tough."
That's crazy.
I had a 400-pound man. It took 3 hours to come.
No, like you said, we didn't really see that. I saw a lot of like younger guys.
Yeah, it was literally all dudes that looked like me, just like walking in, basically. By me, I mean just like, I don't know, like young fucking dudes. I don't know, bro. Like my stature. Well, we know I was gonna say earlier as well when we were talking about the double-decker bus is we've seen a couple of news reports recently of like, you know, overweight people talking about how airplanes are unfair. There needs to be more space on airplanes for like,
Why
you know,
are we going back
400-pound people, all that shit, right? And when we were taking the public transport out there, like I really realized that number one, a lot of the people out there are thin. They're like a lot thinner than the people we have out here, right? It's like in America we have our obesity rate is much higher. Number one. Number two is you can't even afford to be obese out there. Like the double-decker bus, there's no space. Going up those stairs, you gotta be like agile. Even the grandmas are going up it like the bus is moving. They're like, huh, like holding on and shit. Like you gotta be able to like, you can't be like incompetent and you can't be like just so clumsy and so just like can't help yourself at all that you can't even fucking move around out there. Like you gotta be somewhat mobile. You know what I mean? Like it must be really tough for immobile people, like people in wheelchairs and shit, because out here in LA, every time I've taken the bus, I like at least one bus stop there, like they will whip out the ramp and it goes like the dude on a wheelchair comes on, it goes like and then it closes. We didn't experience that once out there. I feel like they don't even have that option because there's no space. Everything's like fucking,
it's very cramped.
everything's cramped as hell. There's no way you're fitting a wheelchair in there, you know, much less a really big dude.
Okay.
I don't know, dude.
Or why do you get back to that?
It's just something I noticed. You know what I mean? I'm like, it just the lifestyle of like the people. You know what I mean? Like out here.
Also, they walk everywhere too.
I guess as well. So, yeah, there's like more walking.
Everybody just lives more actively.
I didn't realize how easy, not easy, but like how. Before Allie and Toke got there, Riley and I were taking the bus or the Uber or the taxi everywhere. And then when Allie and Toke got there, they were like, "Oh, we could just walk there." And we literally walked to like the London Eye. Where when we took the bus there, I was like, damn, that was a long bus trip. We literally walked that whole bus trip.
I know.
And it didn't even feel like that long, you know? So that was pretty interesting. Number one thing, okay, I want to talk about some of the experiences I had in Amsterdam. Number one is their water is dirty and smelly. It smells.
I didn't smell it.
It smells. At some points, it just smells like a bathroom. It smells like a sewer. Maybe someone had just taken a leak next to it or something like that. But
when did you smell the water?
We're walking past it. You get like a whiff.
There was like sewage areas.
So maybe
you think that's the water?
I feel like the water for sure. Like
I thought it was just like sewage.
But it looks gnarly.
It does.
And then we talked to a couple people out there. And we asked them like, do people go swimming in it? They say like drunk people fall in it and shit. But they said when you fall in it, like people get sick from the water. They get brain mites. You know, like I don't know, like shit like that because it's so dirty. And I was showing Riley a video. Storer, they're like these parkour England guys. They did a fucking Amsterdam water challenge where every single one of them went in the water out there. Like multiple times. I'm not sure if they got sick or not, but I was like, geez, bro, that water is fucking gnarly. Also, I didn't get to go see it because I felt sick this day, but Riley got to see the Anne Frank house.
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to take the tour. It was sold out. And then I was like, okay, maybe we could go before our flight. And the next day was like closed for renovations or something. But I got to see the outside of it, and it's just like one of the normal buildings out there, but it looks nice and like preserved, pretty, and it has like a little plaque. And there was hella people taking pictures, and like there was people taking selfies with them. We're like, that's kind of weird. Like, why are you taking a selfie? Like, Anne Frank.
I forgot what exactly it was, but I saw like some tours getting exposed for that where it was either at the Anne Frank place or somewhere else where like tourists were doing no it was girls. It was like Instagram model girls were going to places like the Anne Frank house and like going and like doing booty pics in front of it, going like, you know, Amsterdam, hello guys, and people were like, bro, that's incredibly distasteful, doing a booty pic in front of, you know, like a Nazi concentration camp or some shit like that. I forgot who it was that got exposed for that shit, but guys, one thing for sure that's interesting about traveling is, and also just seeing things in person, like I said with the South Bank skate spot, is I've seen it, I thought I knew it by seeing it so many times online. Then I got there in person, I was like, oh my god, it's like going to Venice Beach and then there's like there's a skate park in Venice Beach, but it's like being on the boardwalk in Venice Beach and there's a skate park on the boardwalk. It's like they would never do that out here, number one. And then also you see all these parts you've never seen before. The Anne Frank house, because Riley showed me some photos, every time I read the Anne Frank book, I've seen like this movie about it. I had a, like we like studied it in like a class I had in middle school. So I thought I had a good understanding of the house, and I always thought it was an actual like American type house with like, I don't know, like a back storage room area that she was in. Like, my understanding of it was so off. The photo that Riley showed me of it is the houses they have in Amsterdam are literally like compressed right next to each other. It's like house. There's like not even an inch of space between the houses, and the houses are like they look like apartment buildings. They're like 3 stories tall. So she was in this house, basically this like European type house, this 3-story type house, in like a bookshelf
in like the attic, I think.
Yeah, like an attic bookshelf situation. Like, it was not anything I would have expected it to look like at all. It was so interesting.
I want to see the inside now.
I know. I wish we were able to take the tour. We probably had like an opportunity to plan the tour on stream, but I was like nervous to go show that on stream. I don't know. Like, I just know how the chat is, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to that in any way at all. And also one thing we talked about on stream, which is when I thought about Anne Frank and when she hid during that time, I didn't know it was I probably like remember reading that it was in Amsterdam, but I never put it together that Amsterdam is coffee house central,
red light district,
all that, party town, all that shit. I never really put that together, right? But when we were there experiencing it, and then you guys are telling me like, oh, Anne Frank is literally like a 15-minute walk that way. I was like, what? Like, okay, Anne Frank must have been here before Amsterdam was known for this. And then Allie's like, no, Amsterdam has been known for its prostitution for 800 years. It's been known for its like leniency on drug usage for like 200, 300 years, or it's like been known the party spot for hundreds of years. And I was like, that's crazy that Anne Frank is literally like 10 minutes away from prostitution, weed, cocaine, shroom town, and she's fucking hiding from Nazis. Like, it was like, I was like, that's crazy, bro. That was insane. Cheers.
It is crazy.
But I really regret that we didn't get to see that. And also, I didn't really know this, but Amsterdam is known for its museums, and we didn't even get to see a single museum. So like,
we have to go back now.
I wish we can get the opportunity to go back so we can actually experience the museums out there.
Well, I think
like, what's another one?
The sex museum, the body world. We wanted to go do.
I literally watched the video about one of the ladies who gave her body to that museum. It's like a whole video where
real bodies.
They talk about, she's in the video before she dies, and she's explaining why she's cool with it, and she's like, yeah, like, I'm all for science, I'm all for this, I'm all for that, blah blah. Like, she's like, once I die, like, my body's gonna be sent to the thing. And it was like,
that's crazy.
A year later, and it was like them sawing her in pieces, for the fucking museum. I was like, what the fuck, dude? But I think it's that museum that she dedicated her body to. There's
a bunch of like weed museums too, I think.
There's probably like other museums other than sex and weed shit that we probably don't know about, but it's known for its museums. One thing I have to bring up, guys, is like I said, I like talking to people out there and like getting to know the culture and like the how it is to live in other areas. Number one, I might sound like a broken record. I already posted this on Instagram, but I gotta say this again. I would have never expected. I know of Amsterdam through fucking Harold and Kumar movies. You know what I mean? Like, I know of Amsterdam through movie references and show references, and I don't even know anyone that's ever even gone there. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I've never done research to see what it really looks like. And all. I know very surface level information about Amsterdam. I would have never thought that in this place that's 11 hours away from Los Angeles, there's people who know of me, watch the streams, and also like fuck with us, and we had there was like this one shroom like magic shop that hit me up. I didn't get to link up with them. Shout out to Zamalia Experience, I think, right? Shout out to Zamalia Experience, aka Pierre. Got to link up with him, and Pierre didn't even really know about me. It's the owner of Zamalia who told Pierre, the worker at Zamalia, like, yo, go link up with Yuriy and hook him up or whatever it is. So shout out to Pierre, shout out to Zamalia Experience. They were like, yo, we fuck with the streams, we we fuck with you, we want to give you guys a good experience. Shout out to them, bro. That was really cool. I got to link up with Sumiko. Wait, what was it?
Sumibo?
Wait, hold on. Let me get the thing before I fuck it up.
Sumibo.
Sumibu, right?
Sumibu?
It's right here. Hold on.
1 second, guys. Yeah, I think it's Sumibu. Yep.
Sumibu.
Sumibu.
Sorry.
Ugh.
Shout out to Sumibu. It's a clothing brand from the Netherlands. And also, after I posted that they I went to their shop and they were like fucking with us, a couple people DM me, I guess, who knew about this brand, and they were like, yo, Yuri, they're like well respected in the Netherlands, like as a street brand. Like, it's actually really cool that they're tapping in with you. And I was like, bro, that's insane. You know, like, that's probably thanks to, obviously, like, from No Jumper and being a part of Reconnected, because it's like a fashion thing. But they literally were like, they hit the dude who like owns the brand hit me up saying like, yo, bro, come through and like, you know, let's talk or whatever it is. So that was really sick. Shout out to everyone in Amsterdam that fucks with us.
There was that random person that like stopped you in the middle of the street too.
Kenny.
That was his name.
Kenneth.
Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth. There was like another dude as well that I didn't get to link up with. I'm sorry to that person, but some dude who saw Paul Lord, Riley, and Allie. That's when the stream had just ended in Amsterdam, and I went back to the hotel room, and I was just like, I really was just like in a bad mood because I wanted to shower. Still had not showered. I was crash out number 5 on my part. I was just in a super bad mood about like I wanted to take a shower, all this stuff. So I went back to the hotel room, put all my stuff away, took a shower, and then during that time, someone else had linked up with Paul Lord, Allie, and Riley, and I feel bad I didn't get to see that dude as well. But bro, it's like, it's so interesting. You would have never expected there would be people in London and Amsterdam, and other places that actually watch the streams and like want to link up and shit. Even people in Greece, but they were just not on the same island. They were not on roads, you know. They were like on other islands and shit. But one thing, the point I was getting to about getting to know people and talking to people is, Toke and I kept asking people in Amsterdam, like, what is your version of you what, mate? Like, because I always thought that in London, you what, mate, is like fighting words. It's like what'd you say type shit. It's like, you what, mate? And it just sounds funny. It kind of rolls off the tongue funny. So I was asking people in Amsterdam, like, what is your pressing words? Like, what is your what, mate, like, version out there? And like this random dude on the street who ended up being kind of weird in the end, but this one random dude on the street told me the same thing as the owner of this other co-owner of Sumibu, which is in the Netherlands or in Holland, guys, the way they talk shit is like super vile, bro. Like, they all, literally multiple people told us the same thing, which is out here in LA, it's like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, I hate you, you're broke, or whatever it is, you know. Out there, apparently, it's like, fuck you, I hope your mom gets fucking anal cancer and bleeds to death. Like, that's literally how they talk shit out there. And I think it was Georgie. Shout out to Georgie. I think he's like the part owner of Sumibu. I was talking to him about it, and I was like, how do you guys, like, you know, what's your version of you what, mate, out here? And he told me, he's like, bro, he's like, on my way to work today, he's like, on my way to the shop, he's like, I was on the bus, and I accidentally ran into some dude, you know, just like a little, like, slight little shoulder tap. And he's like, the dude turned around to me and said, I hope your mom dies of cancer. And he's like, that's how casual they say that shit out there. I was like, bro, that's crazy.
That's funny.
If someone says that to you out here, like, you're like,
what the fuck?
You're like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Like, and he was like saying, like, basically out there in Holland, like, it's kind of like, you know, get the fuck out of my way. You know, it's like the way we say, like, yo, man, watch out. They're like, I hope you get cancer and die. That's so fucked up. I wonder how that started, bro.
It's their culture.
Also, one thing I noticed in Amsterdam is, do you remember when a lot of white people were getting canceled for having dreadlocks? And then it became this whole argument of what culture started dreadlocks, how far dreadlocks go back, like cultural appropriation. And then, you know, it's like dreadlocks just go back in many different cultures way far back, right? And it was like this whole conversation where, like, basically white people couldn't have dreadlocks. One thing I noticed in Amsterdam is a lot of white dudes out there have dreadlocks.
I didn't notice that.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of the bars we were going to, babe, I noticed it. Like, after the second bar we went to, every bar we went to, there was at least 2 dudes in there who had dreadlocks.
I did not notice
White dudes. And I was like realizing, I'm like, damn, like, it must just be like a popular hairstyle out here, and like they must not, you know, like, it's not American culture, so they don't have to worry about the same thing we worry about out here. But I was like, damn, like, it's interesting. They all just, like, literally at least 2 dudes out of every bar had dreadlocks in there. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then also we should talk about this, our first experience using a shared shower and bathroom.
That was horrible.
What did you think?
I never want to do a hostel again. I like my comfort.
Yes.
Call me a princess, but I don't like that shared shit.
You see,
that smelled bad 24/7.
The reason why we got that pod, guys, by the way, we slept like in a pod. I posted on Instagram a photo of it, but the reason why we got that pod is because Toke and Allie had already got that spot. We thought it'd be cool to stay with them, and then also Riley was like, every other spot is like $800, $900. But like I didn't understand how much it was per day, right? So if the pod was $100 per day and it was $120 per day for Airbnb,
no, it wasn't.
It was like way more.
Yeah, and we would have been far as fuck from where we would have wanted to be.
Bro, that shit was. It
was the location that.
It was tough. It was so tough being in that pod.
It was an experience.
But basically, the reason why we did that pod is because it was like every other place. You'd have to be balling. You'd have to be like better living in order to get it. It'd have to be like a $300 a night spot in order to be like chilling. But when I've talked about this before, when we went to Hawaii, the original plan was to go to New York. The reason why we didn't want to do it is because it was like, or I didn't want to do it because it was like way too expensive, and then also it was going to be a shared bathroom shower situation. I was like, I never dealt with that. I don't want to deal with that. We had to deal with it this time. Number one thing, there is 5 showers, 2 bathrooms. The whole place smells like shit at all times. I don't know why, but right? Like every time you walked in, it smells like someone had just taken a shit. It was
so bad.
Every time I walked in, I'm like, oh, someone's pooping. And then you see that both doors are open. You're like, oh, no one. It just always smells like poop in here at all times, even though there's only.
It was the same smell.
It was the same smell every time, too. There's 5 showers and 2 bathrooms. That's number one. Number two is the bathroom doors. The bathroom doors, guys, were like completely closed. Like where you close it, it's sealed. It's like a paper thin like seal around the whole thing. There's no way you could see anything, right? The showers, on the other hand, were cut on the doors were cut on the bottom and cut on top, where if you were a real creepo, you could put your phone on a selfie stick and like get a little top angle, or like
the fuck is
weirdos are doing that shit, or get a little or you can even just like be like
if you
get a little coochie angle or some shit like that. Like it was like
if you bring the selfie stick in the shower,
actually
the shared bathroom,
maybe the showers had to be open because of like condensation or like steam
for mold purposes.
Mold and steam. I don't know, but I was like, why are the showers slightly open and the bathrooms are not? So I was like, that's why I was like telling Riley, I was like, if you're gonna go shower with Allie, pause. But like, I don't want you going showering by yourself because it's like some dude can be selfie sticking in there. Like I don't know, it'll be weird.
There was no selfie sticks.
I have to say this though, I made the crucial mistake of okay, we have to get into this whole conversation about the truffles, why we didn't do the truffles, and me getting way too fucked up all night. But basically, let me skip that whole part. Let me skip to the end, right? The next morning, I woke up at 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., I felt like absolute shit. I was throwing up. I felt disgusting. I couldn't walk. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like shit, basically, right? At one point, like, I kept going to the bathroom to, like, poop and throw up, like, constantly. Like, probably like 4 times. But on one of the times, I was, like, feeling so shitty and so groggy, and I really had to poop that I just pulled my pants down and fucking raw dogged the seat. And then I raw dogged it, and then like I was like, oh, and I fucking stood up, and I was like, oh my god, and I fucking like, and then I put toilet paper down, and then I resat down, but I was like, bruh, I was like, I just raw dogged a fucking hostel seat. Can you imagine? That's like I need to get tested, like type shit.
Shut up.
I swear, that's how gnarly that is. Did you raw dog it?
No. What the fuck?
Bruh, I raw dogged the hostel seat for like a second. Then I instantly stood up. I was like, oh my god, what have I done?
You were dying.
Bruh.
You weren't even thinking.
That shit sobered me up real quick. I was like, dude. I was like, what the fuck?
The coldness on your cheeks.
And the coldness on my cheeks, but then also I was like.
Woke you up and you're like, oh shit. Sweaty ass.
How many people peed on the fucking rim?
Throw up.
How many people threw up? How many people probably like jerked off and fucking nutted on the rim? I don't know, like threw up on the side. No, I mean like diarrhea on the side. Like I can't even imagine the things that have happened to that rim, and I put my raw cheeks on it, dude. I hope I'm okay.
You're fine.
Either way, shared shower, shared bathroom experience. It was interesting. Honestly, if you're dedicated to the travel, like everything comes with its, with its woes. Skateboarding, you gotta have a high pain tolerance, and you gotta be willing to deal with bruises, scratches, aches, and maybe sometimes even like worse injuries than that. Sometimes it's unavoidable and sometimes it is, but everything comes with something. So traveling, honestly, at the end of the day, if you want to experience new cultures, go to London, go to Amsterdam, I think it is worth it to
100% worth
stay
it.
in $100 what's it called, cube.
Oh no, don't do that.
I think it's worth it.
I mean, if you want to be in the middle of it, it is worth it. If you're not doing a fucking live stream, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. And also,
it's probably, it would not have been as shitty if we didn't have all that computer equipment making it hotter and like.
There's a lot of travel YouTubers that I've seen, like Ali Law, for example, right? But there's like a lot of travel YouTubers I've seen, also Nightscape and other people, where they literally said, like, guys, like, I am not rich. I do not have an exorbitant excess amount of income, but like I'm literally getting my flight 5 months ahead of time, getting my hotel at this $30 hostel 4 months ahead of time. Like they're like literally doing everything to save as much money as possible just to have the experience of going there, where I can see that being worth it. The only thing that made it difficult to be in that little cubicle, what's it called? Pod. To be in the pod was having all my streaming equipment with me and it being so hot in there. It was so fucking hot.
But it wasn't a bad bed. Like, it wasn't a bad.
The bed was comfortable.
We slept hella that last day.
The bed was for sure hella comfortable, 100%. And then also, let's just get to the last point here of the Amsterdam trip, is the failed shroom stream. Number one, I'm not sure how recent it was, but apparently they don't sell mushrooms in Amsterdam anymore. They used to, but now it's like illegal. They have to sell truffles. Truffles are weaker, so you have to eat double the amount of truffles and shit like that. So it was like a whole situation. But anyways, guys, the day before the truffle incident, I said we were gonna do truffles a certain day. The day before, I ate like a bunch of edibles. I ate I think
he was doing way too much.
I was doing way too much. I ate like 13, 14 pieces of edibles, and it was like 30 milligrams each. And I think Ali said it was like 360 or 400 milligrams of edibles I ate. That day we were buying like these discount shots. We
did so much.
It was like 10 shots for $5. I don't know. I forgot what it was, dude.
It was 10 shots for $25.
It was so bad, dude. We were buying.
It was half Jaeger, half sour shot.
Oh, we were taking Jaeger as well. We met up with Pierre, and Pierre was like, another shot. He was like, bro, I took so many shots that day.
After the 10 shots, then we went to the AC lounge, and then we took more shots at the AC lounge, and then Pierre came through, got us a shot at the AC lounge.
Got us a bottle.
Then we went on the walk, and he brought the bottle. It was too much.
That was a lot. Yeah, I got too fucked up, and people were saying, scammer, false promises. Guys, this is the thing that, like, just as much as I go with the flow, like, I feel like sometimes you guys have to understand, like, we all got to go with the flow together here, right? Everyone was having a great time. The chat was like, let's go, fire, more 10 shots. You know what I mean? Get more 10 shots, more, pop another edible, walk on the bridge, go in the water, do this, do that. Like, the chat was juiced. And then as soon as, like, my actual physical body catches up with my mental decisions, and, like, the chat's like, what? Yuriy, why didn't you wake up at 8 a.m, go to the gym, make a full breakfast for you and Riley, and then fucking go to an amusement park? What the fuck, dude? Like, that's not fair, dude. What the hell? It's like, bro, I went way too hard. The chat was for sure hyping me up, and I was going a little bit way too hard, and then the next day I paid the consequences, and then everyone's mad at me because I was giving everyone a good time. And I was having a good time as well.
You were having way too good of a time.
I was having too good of a time. But, yeah, we kind of fucked up that. Well, I fucked up my last day there. But
it was so funny because Yuriy got sick. Like, during the beginning of the day, we tried to we got soup. Yuriy yacked up all his wonton soup. He goes back to the Airbnb and, like, sleeps for a little bit. And me, Toke, and Ali went to go to the Anne Frank house. And when we come back, Yuri's feeling better and Toke is dead.
Yes.
So they like fucking flip flop roles, and Allie's like, "Oh my god, like what the fuck? I want to explore."
And that's where I was like I felt so bad because I was like, man, like Toke and Allie wanted to explore the city. Riley wanted to explore the city. Riley's gonna go do this museum without me. Like all this stuff. Like I'm ruining the trip. And then you guys come back and Toke is just like, and Allie's just like, it's over with. Like
It's over
he
with.
has to go to the bed right now. And I was like, I'm not the only one. Thank God. I was like, Toke is out. He's out for the next 5 hours.
Yeah,
like,
it was over with.
now I don't feel as bad for being like out of it for like I was out of it for the beginning of the day and he was out of it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I forgot what we did. I think we just like chilled in the pod.
No, he ended up like coming through and.
Oh yeah, I farted in his room. And I was like, dude, Toke was like sleeping and he's like, leave me alone. I need like an hour of sleep. And then I farted in his room. Allie farted in his room. Riley farted in his room.
I didn't.
Oh.
I was the only one that did
Oh,
it.
okay. Well,
you and Allie did.
I think even Toke farted in his room.
Yeah, he did.
Toke farted in his own room. I farted in there. And then Allie farted in there. And then and Toke was like, I'm out of here. He was like, I'm not going to stay in this fucking farted up ass room. And then he was like,
fuck y'all.
oh shit, dude. I would have been so mad if I was hungover and you guys were all farting in my room trying to get me out. I would have been over
And
it.
Allie had the birthday cake.
Oh my god, bro.
Every
the
morning.
birthday cake, dude.
It was so funny.
Jesus
Birthday
Christ.
cake?
Bro, like I said, I hope I remembered everyone's name that I met up with, but shout out to Bluetooth, shout out to Evil, shout out to Genuine, shout out to the dude in Camden we took the photo with, shout out to Sean. I never got to link up with Sean, but Sean was trying to take us out on expedition around London, and I kept trying to tell Sean that, like, guys, it'll be like especially when it's a group of 4 or plus, but like it'll be me, Riley, Toke, and Allie. We'll be like, today we're gonna go see Big Ben. It'll take us 6 hours to get to Big Ben, and then once we get there, we're like, actually, we're gonna do a pub, and actually, we're gonna do this. Actually, never mind, we're doing, like, it's impossible to like just make a plan, especially when you have a huge group like that and put everyone together. This dude, shout out to Sean, he was hitting me up the whole time, every day, saying, bro, I want to take you guys around London. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, and I kept telling him, I'm like, bro, I'm down. Trust me, I'm down. I trust you. But it's going to be a lot for me to be like, babe, guess what? This dude's going to take us around town. Also, Toke and Allie, guess what? This dude's going to take us around town. Like, it's, it's going to be too much.
Yeah.
Unless we, like, are all, like, really in on it, like, oh, we're doing this paid tour for the next 8 hours.
Also, Allie already knew, and like, that's stuff too, so it was like she wanted to show us around as well.
That's the other thing as well, is like Allie also wanted to show us around town because she has so much experience with London that, like, Allie's not gonna want to be a part of some tour group where she's like, I already know. She's like, I know, bruh. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I feel sorry, but shout out to Sean. I didn't get to link up with him either, but yes, next time he could probably take us around. But linking up with Evil was super interesting.
Yeah,
bro,
he was very kind.
Guys, I should
very kind.
Yeah, he was super kind, but I should have wrote this down. Where Riley and I, we went to a bus station. No, we went to a metro station. We went to the Marble Arches, right? And we're sitting there waiting for Evil. And I look to my left and I see these like two like bus chairs or. What are they called? Like, just like chairs, I guess, but like, or benches, bus benches. But see these two benches, and there's like 4 or 5 dudes. I think one of them is wearing a fucking shiesty. 4 or 5 dudes just all posted up right there. They're probably like around 25, like my age, so all kicking it, right? Evo is like coming through from far away. I see him. I'm like, wave. I'm like, yo, Evo, what's up? He's like, Yuriy. Walks over, looks over at those dudes on the benches. He's like, fuck you guys, this guy's famous.
I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, bro, I was like, chill. He's like, fuck you guys don't even know who the fuck this is. He was like, literally just comes over, starts saying fuck everyone in sight, and is like, this is Yuriy from Los Angeles, bro, blah blah blah. I was like, relax, dude. But we linked up with Evil, got to kick it with him for like an hour and a half, and like that conversation was really cool. Like, we really get to learn a lot about London.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was actually the last day where, like I said, we probably spent like an hour and a half with Evil. Then we linked up with Bluetooth, probably spent like an hour and a half with Bluetooth, and then we were like, oh, let's go catch a play because Riley's really into plays. obviously I would want to go see a play with Riley, but that was our last day there, and I really wanted to also stream the last day there as well. So we went to go see if we could watch
The Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon, which I actually really want to see because it's the creators of South Park who made it. But their closest slot was at 7:30, and it was gonna go 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was gonna end at 10 p.m. Bars closed at 10:30. So I was like, bro, the street life is basically dead after 10:30. It's nothing is going on after that.
Yeah.
So I was
it was a Thursday Wednesday.
It was I think Wednesday or Thursday. So I was like, bro, I wanted to do at least a 2 or 3 hour stream. So we had to make the harsh decision, and a lot of people in the chat were mad at me. They're like, Yuri, you dickhead, you're choosing the chat over Riley. Go watch the play with her. But we didn't choose the Book of Mormon, and Riley's like, I already saw the Book of Mormon. She's like, I'm not gonna watch that by myself. But London had what?
Les Mis.
Les Mis, or is it Les Miserables?
It's called it's called Les Miserables, but
Les Miserables.
People call it Les Mis.
But why is it famous? Because I didn't know anything about this shit.
It's just a famous Broadway production, but they had they're the longest running musical in London.
There you go. It has a Guinness Book of World Record where it's the longest running play in the world, right? Or in London?
In London.
In London. There you
Musical
go.
in London.
Musical in London. It's been going for
years.
70 years or some shit like that.
Not 70.
Anyways,
Riley. Been a long time.
Riley went to go watch it.
Probably 40.
And Riley sent me a photo, and also you post on Instagram, but she literally had some Abe Lincoln-ass seat.
I did. I had the little balcony kind of seat on the side, and I was super close. It was the best. I've seen this show. I've seen so many different versions of this show. I love this show. Mm-hmm. And this was definitely the best performance I've ever seen in my life. London's known for their theater.
I didn't know that. Riley told me about that.
So that's why I was I have to see a show my last day. I have to see something, even if I go by myself. I don't care. I have to see one thing, and I'm so happy I got to see it. Everybody in that cast was fucking flawless. Everybody had the most beautiful voice. The girl who was next to me, she was she was American too, and she was just just let me know if I get in your way. I'm so excited, and she kept singing the songs next to me. She was super hyped, and I was I'm glad I'm sitting next to her because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Or I could understand her excitement. But no, it was dope. I was so happy. I haven't seen a show, and I don't even remember the last show I seen. I think that might have been the last professional show I seen.
And I'm so glad that Riley had that great experience, because it's you're really into plays. And then also after Riley showed me some YouTube clips of that play,
oh, he would have hated it.
I would have sat there for 2.5 hours bruh,
that's another thing that I realized, because when I was I was in the show, but I wasn't in the musical version. I was just in the story version, and I was probably 15 years old, knowing the story. But now that I'm 25 years old, listening and seeing the story hits differently, and
really?
I understand more.
You said you cried multiple times.
Yes. Well, that's just because I just cried at the start, because I was just oh my god.
Did that girl cry too?
No.
You were the only one crying?
Yeah. But I was just, the music's just iconic.
But I'm
even as a kid, I didn't really understand the meaning of the songs, because it's old times. It's about it's during the French Revolution.
Yeah.
So it's
an old play as well.
Yeah. So it's their language is kind of hard for a young kid to understand.
Now you understand a little bit
but
better.
now it's I understand every single word
because you've seen
they're
it so many
saying.
times as well.
Yeah, that too.
But and also, guys, like I said, I feel like shit that also I didn't, at least even if I wouldn't have enjoyed it too much because I'm not into it, to experience that with you, because it means so much to you and you you are so into it, I would obviously want to do that with you. But
next time we're gonna go and we're gonna see the Book of Mormon.
Exactly. But also one thing I have to remind everyone is a lot of people still say, and I'll even reference it as the vacation, but from the beginning it was never a vacation. When we went to Greece, that was a vacation. The streaming was we were worried about the vacation first, and then I was worried about streaming second. this whole trip, it was streaming came first. You know what I mean? Like, and then our experiences went second. You know what I mean? Like, where the whole thing, it was not like, oh, we're going to London and we'll stream sometimes. It was like the whole thing was like, hey, we're doing the stream goal to go to London, and then once we get to London, it's like we're streaming as much as possible. So when we were spending that last day there, I really, you know, like felt like I was like, bro, like I feel guilty, dude. And like we spent the whole day and I did not stream not even once, you know. So I was like, bro, I really want to stream at least for like 2-3 hours, especially since it was our last day, technically, and also like, yeah, I don't know, the timing just didn't work out. Had we caught an earlier play, it would have been better, you know.
Yeah.
But either way, I had a pretty unique experience. I went to a cigar lounge while Riley was doing the play. I ended up shout out to Trapple Ross. He ended up saying like, cause the time and like the second or third day we were out there, Trapple Ross dropped his video. So that's one of the reasons why we weren't able to link up, is he was super busy with his NBA YoungBoy video, which it was a very, very good. I finished watching it. I'm on my second playthrough now. I really wanted to watch it on the Patreon compared to the YouTube, because I watched the whole version on YouTube, and there was multiple points where Trapple Ross would be talking about something and it would be blurred, or he'd be like, we can't show this on YouTube, and I'd be like, bro, like what the, like it kind of ruins the story here. So I was like, I finished the whole thing on YouTube, and then it's so long, it's 6.5 hours, that obviously you can't absorb all the information on your first go. That I was like, all right, let me see how much it is. It was like £2. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm spending the £2. I'm getting the Patreon version, and I'm like probably like a quarter way through it again, but I'm rewatching it again to like really, you know, I'm not even an NBA YoungBoy fan. It's just interesting to get into because he like documents it so well. But also, I do appreciate that on Patreon it's not blurred. You know what I mean? Like it makes the storyline a little bit better and more consuming. And also, I think it's like 7 hours long compared to 6.5 or something. Like it's like 30 minutes longer. Okay, yeah, guys. So Riley went to go do the play. I went to go do my stream, and then I'm super sorry, but at one point I was like, Trapple Ross was like, yo, he's trying to go link up, but he was trying to be covert at the spot that he was at. So I was like, all right, I wanted to cover the camera while I went there, but I wanted to bike there to get there as soon as possible. So I was like, all right, I'm going to turn off the camera. I'll F it. I'm going to go to the spot, and then I'll turn the camera back on. I go to the spot. I walk in, and bro, it's such a classy spot. I was so underdressed. Everyone was looking at me sideways there. Like, I was definitely not probably fitting the vibe at all. Like, they're like, who's this low-class citizen walking into this, like, 5-star fucking cigar lounge type shit? But I walked in, and the dude's just like, you can't have a backpack. And I was like, oh, I'm on stream. Like, I kind of have to have the backpack. And he's just like, no one has a backpack in there. He's like, you can't wear a backpack in there. Like, he was making it sound like it's like a dress code thing. You know, he's just like, it's not going to look nice for you to have a backpack in there. And I was like, can I just have the backpack sitting on the floor? And I basically got into like a 5-minute conversation or like 10-minute conversation with the dude in front trying to get my backpack in. He's like, no. And then at a certain point, Trapple Ross is like, yo, he's like, we're only going to be here for so long. Like, when's the next time you're going to be in London? He's like, I know the chat's going to be mad. And also I was like, I know the chat's going to be mad. But he's like, let's just chill for a little bit, and then you just continue the stream and I'll link up with you. And I was like, all right, let's do that. I went in there. One thing led to another. I ended up buying a cigar, bruh. Guess how much I spent on a cigar, guys?
You already told me.
I spent $50 on a cigar.
Stupid.
Had I seen the price, I would have not done it. And the reason why I did do it is because on stream before in LA, I went to a cigar lounge and I was like, hey guys, give me your most expensive cigar. I was ready to drop like $100 on a cigar and like see what the experience is like, right? Went in there and they're like, oh yes, got you on our most expensive cigar, sir. And I looked at it, was like $15. So I was like, oh wow, cigars are cheap. And when we went there, I was like, oh, you know, they were like, oh, you should get this cigar. I was like, okay, I got it. And then afterwards, when I went to go pay, they were like, oh, it's 47 pounds. I was like, I just spent $50 on a cigar, dude. Jesus Christ. I smoked the whole thing too.
That's crazy.
Jesus. And also, I have to say, I never understood cigars. Now I understand it. It really is like, I think it's because before when I hit a cigar, I was trying to inhale it. It really is the thing where you got to get used to just going, like just keeping it in your mouth. It sounds weird, but it becomes like some hookah type experience after a moment. Like it's like kind of chill to like talk and have the cigar there.
Oh god,
it's pretty funny.
It's very posh.
Yeah, it is very posh. But yeah, got to have a cigar lounge experience with fucking Trapple Ross and the homie Marty, and also Trapple Ross was wearing an NBA YoungBoy shirt with an NBA YoungBoy chain, It looked like he was like on a like a victory tour of his NBA Youngboy documentary dropping. It was like funny. That's why I was like so appreciative of meeting up with him that day, because he's like in London. You know, I feel like a lot of the people who are gonna appreciate that documentary are probably in America.
Yeah.
You know, and like he's like out in London like celebrating the NBA Youngboy documentary drop-in, like wearing the merch and shit, but no one in London is probably looking at him going like, oh, like, you know, like understanding the fucking what's happening there, you know. So I was happy I was able to be there and also document it on stream. And also, people are saying this would never happen, but Trapple Ross was in the streets of London on an IRL stream for like an hour.
Yeah,
we
sure was.
We literally were like walking around the streets of London for like an hour on an IRL stream. So many people were talking about shivving this, shivving that, you know, be careful, blah, 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 whatever. It was literally so chill. We're having a super cool experience. Marty's a cool guy. It was like, I don't know, it was just like super chill. Shout out to fucking Trapper Ross. I appreciate you so much, man. And I feel like that about wraps up our actually, hold on. There's one last thing we got to talk about here. This is funny. Our last day, I got a little bit too much weed. The night before, Riley and I smoked like 2 spliffs, and then at night, and I still had like 4 spliffs left. And at nighttime, I told Riley like, I'm gonna go smoke. You want to smoke? She's like, no. Like she's like, I'm too tired. So I go outside to smoke, and I posted it on Instagram, bro. That was like outside the Airbnb where it was like, I don't know, like 3 a.m, and I was smoking, and bro, there was not a single light. The only thing you could see was the shell in the distance, but other than that, it's like imagine being in a blacked out room with the lights off and you're looking around and you can't see nothing. That's what the street felt like. It was so creepy. I took my phone out and filmed that Instagram post, and you could barely see what's going on, but other than that, I was smoking there and I could hear little things. I didn't even tell you this, but as I was smoking, I could hear things moving in the woods, like branches breaking and shit, and it was like everywhere. Like it was so quiet that you could hear shit, right?
Yeah, it was creepy.
And I was like, bro, I can hear like 20 things moving at once in the woods, and I'm just standing here smoking. And I really like call me a pussy, but I wanted to smoke the whole spliff. I smoked like half of it and called it quits. So I was like, bro, I'm out of here. But the next day, Riley and I had to go to the airport. We realized real quick in Crawley, it's impossible to get an Uber. We tried many a times. You were able to get one somehow. I don't know. You were like actually lucky, but we were not able to get an Uber. We ended up having to take the bus to the airport, or to the train, and then to the airport to make our whole way back to LA. But I had 2 spliffs left. Obviously, I'm not gonna take him on the plane with me, so I was like, "Fuck it." I had like an ibuprofen box. Put the spliffs in the ibuprofen box, put it in like a bush, posted on Instagram, and I was like, "Guys, this is the bus stop. It's here in Crawley." And I was thinking that someone's gonna get it. I had 2 people DM me telling me I'm going there right now, or I'm going there to get the spliffs, and they never got them. I guess they never got them. Shout out to my homie, undisclosed homie. He was also in London at the same time. He hits me up and he's like, yo, I'm 10 minutes away from Crawley. He's like, are the spliffs still there? And I was like, I don't know. It's been like 3-4 days. I was like, here's the address. Like, go check it out. He literally, I thought he drove there, bruh. He didn't drive there. He took an Uber from, it's easy. If you're going from the airport to Crawley, easy to take an Uber there. To take an Uber from Crawley to the airport, impossible, bro. You're going to be there for an hour. You're not going to find an Uber. He took an Uber from wherever area he was to Crawley, dropped off, found those spliffs in the middle of the night, like at 2 a.m, and then he was stuck out there. That place that I posted on Instagram that I was smoking at, that fucking Shell gas station, he said he was there for 40 minutes.
Oh my god.
Waiting for an Uber to get back. The bus doesn't work at that time either. There's no hotels.
Oh no.
The Shell, I'm sure, probably closes their doors and like is like a window only type thing. Bro, he was basically stuck at that Shell for 40 minutes.
I'm gonna ask the girls for him to stay the night at
trying
the Airbnb.
I know, for real, trying to get an Uber back. I was like, bro, like the mission stoners pull for weed sometimes is ridiculous.
Is it worth it?
I know. Is it worth it to even be faded at that point when you're at like an ice cold? It's probably cold as well. Oh my god, dude. But either way, someone got those spliffs, thank God. And it was someone from LA. It wasn't even someone from London. Guys, that was 3 hours.
Dude, I'm so dead.
I know, I'm sorry I talk so much. I wanted to get it all out, though.
We did it.
Are we going to do an after show? Short after show.
I talked to you after we get off the thing about it.
So that's a no.
No. I want to talk off camera.
All right.
Why do we always have to discuss on camera?
Cheers, everyone. Also, guys, we usually never go 3 hours and 16 minutes, so it is like, yes, I wouldn't be surprised if there's no after show. But either way, shout out to everyone that's been a part of this. Appreciate you guys so much. Sorry for the long rants. We had a lot to talk about. We haven't been on podcast in a minute, so cheers to the 10 Talks gang.
Cheers, y'all. The Babas.
I forgot. As I was drinking, I forgot. I'm sorry. The Babas. Why do you call it that?
That's what it's called.
All right. Shout out to everyone. If you guys can, please drop a like. Really helps grow the channel. And also, hopefully, we'll do an after show. Who knows? Peace to everyone. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on.
We will.
We got to do the whole outro thing. Fuck. God damn it, bro. Where is it? This.
Better hurry, spark it up with no worries. Harmonious gang with the big bro Yuriy. Hyphy, get lit just like me. Big